People in Douluo can travel across all realms. This video is purely for entertainment and does not infringe on copyrights or laws. The rights to the novel and image belong to the original author. We do not claim ownership. Don't like waiting and want to listen to this fanfic in full now? Subscribe to our Patreon, where you'll find the best fanfics. Chapter 126, Absorbing Different Flames. Hiss, it really is an unbearable high temperature for ordinary people. Although the temperature was isolated by the sealed space, Yunshu's hand penetrated into the center of the strange fire. The cuticle on Yunshu's arm is melting at a speed visible to the naked eye, not to mention the palm protruding into the center of the strange fire, although the remaining eyes of the blood lotus pill in his body are still filling up the ablated cuticle, but Yunshu's palm clearly felt the temperature gradually rising. Damn. This guy's like a loach. Where is the fire? Yunshu's back was already wet, not from the heat, but from being nervous. If he hadn't found the fire before the effect of the blood lotus pill disappeared, then his right hand would be gone, and the high temperature of the different fire would directly burn Yunshu's right hand into nothingness. Found it. Just when the effect of the blood lotus pill was almost finished, Yunshu finally touched the tinder of King Lian's earth heart fire. When the arm was pulled out from the sealed space, in Yunshu's palm, a liquid thing like blue magma was wriggling slightly in Yunshu's palm. Then Yunshu lifted the space seal in front of him, and the huge blue flame in the seal also slowly penetrated into the blue magma in the center of Yunshu's palm. Seeing this, Yunshu swallowed it without hesitation. Well, the moment Yunshu swallowed the blue magma, his body trembled violently, as if struck by lightning, and then Yunshu's face suddenly turned pale. Enduring the scorching pain all over his body, Yunshu took out the ice cold spring and ice spring water, and drank it all in one gulp. Abashi. After taking the two extremely cold things, Yunshu's expression gradually relaxed, and he no longer had the appearance of being twisted into a chrysanthemum like before. But soon, the Kinglian earth core fire in Yunshu's body split into strands of tiny blue flames that penetrated into Yunshu's meridians. Yunshu's relaxed expression twisted into a chrysanthemum again. Cyan flames frantically shuttle through the meridians of Yunshu, which is undoubtedly a devastating blow to the fragile meridians. After being burned at high temperature, the originally spacious and tough veins have been twisted into a twist by the flames, and the blood lotus, the blood scab formed in Dan's body, is no longer enough to resist such high temperature. One more sip. Yunshu couldn't take it anymore, took out the ice spring, and took another big gulp. Fortunately, he was well prepared and filled a large tank of ice spring water. The feeling of comfort reappeared. Yunshu settled down and began to use his mind to try to contact the strange fire and even control it. After failing so many times and being almost numb, Yunshu finally discovered that the cyan flames in the meridians started to swim along the route drawn by Yunshu's mind. This surprised Yunshu and quickly controlled the small flame to start running along the meridians. In the riddled meridians, the cyan flame slowly swam. After intersecting with the strange fire, the Ling handspring melted each other and turned into a faint white mist, and then the white mist condensed again into tiny ice crystals and scattered in Yunshu's meridians, protecting the meridians from being burned by the strange fire. After an unknown period of time, the cyan flame pulled by Yunshu grew bigger and bigger, fused the remaining cyan flame in the body, and the fused cyan flame returned to the appearance it just entered, a stream of cyan magma. Feeling the power of this blue magma, the corner of Yunshu's mouth twitched. He sighed silently and thought to himself, fortunately, there are enough ice spring water pipes. After pouring another mouthful of ice spring water, Yunshu gritted his teeth and continued to drag the blue magma along the meridians. The temperature of the cyan magma was obviously much higher than that of the cyan flame, and a shock that was 100 times more intense than the previous burning sensation appeared. Yunshu gritted his teeth tightly, and it would be a failure to give up this place. With the passage of time, Yunshu pulled the blue magma faster and faster, and his control became more and more proficient. Yunshu felt the Fenju Kung Fu transmitted to him by the system. Condensing the whirlwind of Tao, Yunshu could only skip the stage of refining the strange fire, and jumped directly to using the burning sword to devour the strange fire. The next step is up to you. Yunshu stretched out his left hand and released the Wangyoucao sword. The Vulcan power of the Wangyoucao sword can help restrain the different fires for a period of time. Because the strange fire is in his body, Yunshu's pupil technique can't affect the current strange fire at all. Ding, ding, ding. The long yuan sword in front of him began to tremble rapidly, making a tinkling sound, and then a burst of fiery red power instantly burst out, enveloping Yunshu in it. Suppress it for me. The different fire has spirit, and the Vulcan power of Long Yuan sword can only be suppressed for a short time, and Long Yuan sword can't help him after the time has passed. As if sensing danger, the blue magma in Yunshu's body instantly became irritable, and began to collide with the meridians in Yunshu's body everywhere. Puff. Yunshu was instantly seriously injured by the impact of the strange fire, and spit out a mouthful of blood. You're going to play me to death. Yunshu yelled at Long Yuanjin in his heart. Forget it. Yunshu took off his clothes, and jumped directly into the tank, filled with ice spring water. With the short-term suppression of Vulcan's power, Yunshu hurriedly started to use Fenju to devour the different fires. The suppression inside the body and the extreme cold outside made King Lian's heart fire, which was extremely active before, now extremely sluggish. Coupled with the fact that it can't move freely now, and the Fenju cultivated by Yunshu is still devouring it, the resistance of King Lian's heart fire is getting stronger and stronger. Oops. The suppression of Vulcan's power is gone. Yunshu thought in horror. Boom. King Lian's heart fire, which had lost its suppression, erupted from Yunshu's body in an instant, and the temperature of the ice spring water, where Yunshu was located, gradually increased until the ice spring water completely turned into boiling water. Woo. The boiling spring water scalded Yunshu to the point where he jumped out of the tank. Not good. If I don't restrain the blue fire from erupting, I will be burned alive. Yunshu opened the Wangyoucao in his right hand again, preparing to use the extremely cold field to cool down. However, the opening of the extremely cold field is like a moth to the flame for King Lian's heart fire. The whole field was burned by King Lian's heart fire just after the field came out. Just after Yunshu was burned to the point of losing consciousness, the green dragon tattoo behind Yunshu suddenly flashed a blue light, and then the whole green dragon tattoo seemed to come alive, and the dragon head began to slowly absorb the burst of energy from Yunshu's body. King Lian's heart flame. With the reduction of the cyan flame, a cyan flame suddenly appeared in the consciousness space of Yunshu's body, and after a while, the cyan flame turned into a cyan lotus flower. The dragon head, whose body surface was absorbing the green fire, seemed to have sensed something, and gradually turned into a phantom, which was reprinted on Yunshu's back, turning into a vivid green dragon tattoo. As for the remaining blue flames on Yunshu's body, they gradually shrank into Yunshu's body. Thank you Sharingan for the 1000 starting point reward. End of this chapter. Chapter 127 Mysterious Man. I don't know how long it took before Yunshu woke up from the Shenwei space. Did you succeed? Yunshu said carelessly as he stood up from the ground. Nonsense. Can you still wake up if you fail? Damn it. This cube has been burned like this. Yunshu said in surprise, after looking at the uneven cube under his feet, which was at least 30 meters lower than other cubes. Fortunately, King Lian's heart fire restored my body, otherwise I would be burnt into that inhuman and ghost-like appearance. I'm afraid I'll have to wear a mask for the rest of my life. Yunshu touched himself like a newborn baby. The smooth body said that he was already handsome, but now he is even more handsome, which is really unacceptable. Moreover, the different fire training eliminated all the internal injuries caused by his forced exercise when he was a child. It can be said that Yunshu was so healthy for the first time in his age. System, show me how my strength and Fenju are evolving. After touching his perfect body enough, Yunshu called out this attribute panel that he hadn't used for a long time. According to the division of Dao Qi in my body, I'm still in Dao Qi. That's right. I haven't condensed Dao Qi, and King Lian's heart fire can't help me improve, but I'm already at the 9th stage of Dao Qi. It must be very soon you will be able to break through fighter. As for this Fenju, it's not bad. It has broken through to the middle level of the Zuan class. Has the overall strength become a high level Dao Huan due to the situation of swallowing the different fire? It is indeed a different fire. It can actually raise my overall strength to the level of a Dao Huan. Way good. Yunshu said with satisfaction said. Now you only need to break through as a fighter, to learn fighting skills and refining medicine. Yunshu thought to himself. Since the Great Tagore Desert is suitable for people with fire attribute grudges to practice, Yunshu plans to go to the depths of the desert to practice, in order to complete the breakthrough faster. By the way, I have to go outside, to deal with that double-headed fire spirit snake. Yunshu thought for a while, and decided to subdue it. Anyway, he doesn't have a contract beast in this world yet, and this little guy has the ability to become a fighting king, even higher potential. There are still more than 20 years before the start of the plot, so it's better to accept it first, and then it will be regarded as a fighting king brother. The 3-flower pupil of the green snake can directly tame you, so can my kaleidoscope Sharingan do it so easily. Yunshu wanted to try it out and see which pupil technique is more convenient to tame this spirit snake. Of course, Yunshu would not be more powerful than the Jade Snake 3 Hua Tong. After all, the Jade Snake 3 Hua pupil was only of the illusion department, and it could only cause an illusion interference effect similar to that of Sharingan, but when dealing with snake-like monsters, it had the same effect. The good restraint effect is almost the nemesis of all snake monsters. Yunshu, who has already fused the different fire, can now easily pass through the sea of lava even without using the power of Vulcan. He only needs to wrap himself with Kinglian's inner fire, and the subdued different fire has no effect on him. Danger. The rich knowledge reserves in Yunshu's mind allowed him to develop several skills that could be used for attack when he first obtained the strange fire. For example, Fire Fist, since activating the different fire also needs to consume the power in the body, it is of course impossible to directly punch the different fire out with the fist, not to mention that it would waste the power in the body, and if the fist-sized strange fire is thrown out without restraint, it may be instant. It erupted, burning everything around it into nothingness. The loss outweighs the gain, no matter what. Yunshu had to let Yunshu lick his bag with tears in his eyes first. So he used Battle Key instead, and attached a little flame of the strange fire. Although Yunshu's Battle Key could not be separated from the body at this stage, Yunshu didn't only have Battle Key in his body. Arriving above the magma space, Yunshu took out the transformation pill that he had acquired for so long, and hadn't used it for so long. This kind of pill should be able to attract the two-headed fire spirit snake out. Although I don't know if the pill is still there after so long. But it is a 7th rank pill. Even a spirit snake without IQ should be able to feel the attraction of this pill. Sure enough, within a minute after the pill was taken out, Yunshu saw the two-headed fire spirit snake roaring and rushed towards him. The attraction of the pill was already greater than the pressure Yunshu brought him. Right around eye! Exclamation mark. Just when the snake head was about to stretch out in front of Yunshu, Yunshu finally opened the kaleidoscope Sharingan. The powerful illusion made the will of the two-headed fire spirit snake instantly suppressed, leaving only the body controlled by Yunshu, and the appearance of the three-headed jade writing sharing eyes appeared in the 4 snake eyes. It's barely a tie. Yunshu looked at the two-headed fire spirit snake obediently beside him and said indifferently, "Okay, just stay here and level up, I'm going out." Yunshu forcibly contracted the two-headed fire spirit snake, and left the underground world. A mere monster is not worthy of Yunshu's use of the blood contract. This contract is only a unilateral slavery contract, just like Uchiha Madara forcibly enslaving Kyuubi. There is no such thing as a contracted beast using reverse psychic, but only Yunshu can able to psychic. Leaving the underground world, Yunshu embarked on a journey to the center of the desert, preparing to break through the Dao Zhe completely, before returning to learn alchemy. In the desert, it was a barren and inhabited place about a few kilometers away from Yunshu. Hurry up. This batch of goods must be handed over before you moths are roasted into worms by the sun. The leading strong man and a group of men are driving a group of snake people, as if they are sold as goods. Snapped! Exclamation mark. Did you hear that? Don't stop for me. The younger brother flicked the whip in his hand, and said dissatisfiedly looking at these slow-moving snake people. "Can you give me some water?" A female snake woman who had collapsed on the ground said weakly. "Fuck you. If there is water, it will be your turn." The human trafficker kicked the snake woman, and wanted to beat the snake woman with a whip in his hand. "Stop. She is worth more than you." The second master grabbed the trafficker's hand that was about to swing the whip, and said to him viciously, "Boss." The boss of the human trafficker came over, and was about to say something to the female snake, but the younger brother at the side exclaimed because he saw a monster not far away at this time carrying a large bucket of water and a man in clothes. The man in the cloak walked over slowly. Water. The leader ran over quickly, split the vat of water with an axe, and clear water quickly flowed out from the gap. Water seller. This bucket of water belongs to us. Wangyoucao looked at the mysterious man wearing a cloak in front of him and grinned. Well, you can just pay when the time comes. The mysterious man climbed out of the car and said lightly, ha ha ha. I'm not short of money. These snake slaves are money. The head of the family said boldly. The mysterious man ignored him. Instead he walked to the snake man in front of him and squinted his eyes at the paralyzed female snake man not far away. Water sellers. This group of snake people is not something you can enjoy. The head of the family said indifferently as he watched the mysterious man walk towards the snake crowd. Unexpectedly, the mysterious man didn't pay attention to his meaning at all, but walked straight towards the paralyzed female snake man. Did you hear what I said to you? Feeling dissatisfied, the head of the family quickly followed up and wanted to stop the mysterious man. This is the beginning of the story of Douluo's special episode of Sharingan song. I don't know how many brothers have read it. I recommend everyone to watch it. It's so good! Exclamation mark. When I was still in Hokage, a brother asked me to write this special article. In fact, I hadn't read it at that time, but after I saw it, I thought it was really good, especially the special effects of fighting. Definitely not inferior to Douluo. End of this chapter. Chapter 128 Snake Man. Did you hear what I'm talking to you? The master grabbed the mysterious man's shoulder laugh. Exclamation mark. Unexpectedly, as soon as the master's hand touched the shoulder of the mysterious man, his head fell off the shoulder and formed a block of ice, and the headless corpse collapsed. I hate other people touching my body, the mysterious man said coldly. At this moment, the surrounding atmosphere cooled down along with the air, as if it had dropped to freezing point. Big brother, your grandfather's, kill him. The second master ordered angrily, directing the younger brother to rush towards the mysterious man. Kill. The younger brothers pulled out the big knives at their waists and rushed towards the mysterious man. However, in an instant, only the grey cloak was left in front of everyone, and the mysterious man disappeared. Swish swish! Exclamation mark. Within a few breaths, the younger brothers were all knocked down, leaving only the second leader standing still. Wangyoucao heard the voice behind him and turned around tremblingly, only to see the mysterious man pointing his fingers at his head. In the next second, a huge impact caused the second leader to take off directly and hit the giant beast skeleton dozens of meters away. The fate of every living being is arranged before its birth, and waiting quietly is its best choice. The mysterious man slowly walked towards the snake girl not far away. You killed my elder brother. I'm going to abolish you. The second head of the family was already disabled, and he stared viciously at the mysterious person not far away, as if he was about to die. A friend, ask me to take you home. The mysterious man came to the snake girl and said lightly. On the other side, Wangyoucao was carrying a weapon that he had forged with different fires on his shoulders shirtless. It wasn't considered a weapon, it could only be called a door panel. This kind of weight training Wangyoucao also learned from Xiaoyan. His training method was proposed by a strong person at the Tang San level, and as Xiaoyan's teacher, he would definitely not cheat his apprentices, so I believe him. Exactly. Besides, Wangyoucao also felt that his skin was too fair and tender, so he wondered if he could get back to the way it was before, if he exposed himself to the sun again. Boom, boom, thump. Because the door panel was too heavy, every time Wangyoucao took a step, there would be a thumping sound. Someone. In Wangyoucao's perception, 3 breaths were slowly approaching behind him. This aura doesn't look like a human being. What a strange feeling. Is it a half-orc? According to Wangyoucao's perception, one of them not only had the aura of monster, but also had a half-human aura. One person, one beast, one half-orc. Is there hybrid race in this world? It doesn't matter, as long as it is not looking for trouble. It has nothing to do with me. Wangyoucao continued to walk forward slowly with the door panel on his shoulders, but because of the door panel it was too heavy, Wangyoucao walked too slowly, and the people behind had already caught up. Gradually, a huge reptile monster appeared beside Yunshu, dragging a wooden cart with a large bucket of water behind it. Snake Man. No wonder you feel this way. Yunshu glanced at the snake man on the wooden cart beside him and thought to himself, hello. Yunshu waved to the snake man to show his friendliness. Hello. Miss Snake Man said timidly, looking at the strange boy with a door on his back. It's you again. The man on the back of the monster frowned and said after seeing Yunshu, you know me. Yunshu didn't realize it at first until he raised his head and saw the person sitting on the back of the monster. Then he was stunned, as if he had never seen this person in front of him. Haven't you already left the desert? The man was choked by Yunshu's words, and he remembered that he was wearing a cloak when he met the person in front of him last time, and now the cloak was in the fight just now. It fell off, and he didn't put it on, so the person in front of him hadn't seen his real appearance. Oh, I remembered. You are the man in the grey robe from before. Yunshu remembered that this man had given him directions when he first arrived in this world. I went out and then found that the desert is more suitable for cultivation. Then I came back. Yunshu pointed to the door panel behind him and said with a smile. The man didn't answer and drove the monster to continue on its way, and Yunshu seemed to be due to the fact that there was an extra reference beside him and gradually increased his speed as if he didn't want to be overtaken by the monster and started a race with the monster. The door panel on Yunshu's back, a monster carrying a person, a snake man and a bucket of water. Why are you carrying this door on your back? Miss Snake Man ignored the man in front of her and simply chatted with the younger looking little brother beside her. This is called weight training. It can exercise your body and refresh your strength. Yunshu panted slightly. What's your name? Miss Snake Man seemed unwilling to be lonely and began to talk to Yunshu without saying a word. Cloud Tree. The man on the monster's back suddenly raised his head and looked at Yunshu beside him in surprise. When Yunshu met him for the first time, he even reported his family name. He still remembered that the name he said at that time was Zhao Yan, but he didn't expect it to be false, or the name is false now. Little brother Yunshu, how old are you? Miss Snake Girl couldn't remember anything due to amnesia, so she kept asking Yunshu questions. I'm going to be 13 soon. Yunshu felt that if this continued, he was going to die, so he simply put away the door behind him, jumped onto the wooden cart, and sat beside Miss Snake Girl, ready to rest for a while. This snake is so powerful that Yunshu's ears are almost calloused. Hearing Yunshu's age, the two of them looked at Yunshu in surprise. At 13 years old, you look too anxious to be in your 20s. If you can go to Douluo next door and your jaws drop, and 12 years old is the same as someone 40 years old, then you will be anxious. Seemingly seeing that Yunshu was tired, Miss Snake Girl handed Yunshu a glass of water, and then the three of them entered a period of silence until the vehicle was about to drive into a canyon, when the man suddenly took the Snake Girl, left the wooden cart, and after a while came back alone and continued on her way until after entering the canyon. Someone is coming. Yunshu, who was resting, suddenly opened his eyes. The man sitting on the back of the monster in front seemed to feel it too, but neither of them responded. I saw a mysterious snake man wearing a cloak and a mask standing in the middle of the road not far ahead. Neither Yunshu nor the man in front of him made a move because they were not sure who the opponent's target was. If it was Yunshu, then the man would not be nosy. After all, he is a killer and has a mission. If the target is this man, then Yunshu may help out. After all, the other party also pointed him the way once. End of this chapter. If you're listening to this novel on a channel other than Fanfic World, it means they downloaded and uploaded it without effort. We cordially invite you to visit our channel, Mundo Fanfic Novelos. There you'll find the original version of this story and you can explore many other novels of various genres. We're waiting for you to immerse yourself in a world of incredible novels. Chapter 129, Heiboden and the Mysterious Fighting Emperor. Neither Yunshu nor the man made a move, because the other party just stood quietly by the side of the road without making a move. Just like that, the wooden cart of Yunshu and the others slowly passed by the side of the mysterious snake man. This guy is stronger than the man in front of him. When passing by the mysterious man, Yunshu clearly felt a strong sense of oppression from him. It should also be a high level Daohuang, and the star rating is higher than that of man. Yunshu narrowed his eyes, thinking to himself, not good. The hairs all over Yunshu's body stood up suddenly, and a sense of crisis came over him. Bang! Exclamation mark. In the next second, a snake tail appeared in front of Yunshu and flew him away, hitting the rock wall of the canyon, making a big hole in the wall. After drawing the Fian tree, the snake man soon fought with the man. What the hell? Really, isn't this guy coming after me? Yunshu felt that he had really suffered a disaster. Looking at the fight between the snake man and the man, the opponent's target is obviously the man, but in order to deal with the weakest one first, the snake man gave himself, who seemed to be only a 9 level fighting spirit, a second. If the tiger doesn't send cats, why do you think I'm critically ill? Yunshu pushed himself off the wall. Fortunately, his body had just been strengthened by the strange fire, otherwise the previous self might not even fight back. After taking this blow, chances are gone. Yunshu's overall strength has reached Daohuang, which does not mean that he has the power of Daohuang now, but all his abilities, the dynamic vision and auxiliary pupil-like techniques, provided by reincarnation eye and Sharingan, Susanoo the defensive power, provided by the body, the destructive power, provided by the different fire, and the flying and strengthening provided by the soul bone. All these abilities must be used in order to be able to fight against the Emperor. This is also the reason why Yunshu couldn't dodge the snake's tail attack at the beginning. Before using these abilities, Yunshu's combat power might not even reach the strength of a high-level fighting king. Snake Clan strongman, you want to be my enemy? The battle on the other side had already begun, and the man turned into wings, floating in the air and looking coldly at the Snake Clan fighting emperor below. I know you. The Ice Emperor Haibadang, one of the top 10 powerhouses in the Jayamar Empire. The words of the Snake Human clan surprised Yunshu, who was about to intervene in the battle. This guy's Haibodon, Yunshu said in surprise. He never thought he would meet the young Haibodon. Who are you? Haibodon looked gloomily at the mysterious snake human strongman in front of him. He did not have the upper hand in the previous fight, which meant that the opponent's strength was not weaker than him. During this period of time, human beings are not as clear about the situation of the snake people as they are more than 20 years later, and they don't know how many strong people there are in the snake people. HMPH. You don't need to know. Snake human Daohuang sneered, and then jumped to the wooden cart with the bucket behind him. Who knew that the moment he touched the bucket, the entire wooden cart turned into frost and disappeared, and then several identical wooden carts appeared on the nearby ground. Is it a mirage? It's interesting, said the snake human powerhouse lightly. That's right. There's something more interesting. Yunshu's voice sounded in the ears of the snake human strongman. You're not dead. The snake human race looked at Yunshu and said in surprise, it's a miracle that the 9-stage Dao Ki can withstand him without dying. You're not dead, how could I die? Yunshu sneered, you put it here and pretend to be your mother, looking for death. The snake human Daohuang was enraged by Yunshu's words, and he dared to provoke Daohuang with his mere 9 level fighting spirit. Yunshu looked at the snake man rushing towards him with a sneer. The dynamic vision provided by Sharingan has already allowed him to clearly see through the snake man's movements. Yunshu looked at the snake man who was grabbing at him and clenched the interpreter in his hand just when the glove in iron armor was about to grab Yunshu's throat. Flash. Yunshu, holding a long sword, appeared behind the snake man in an instant. Go to hell. The interpreter cast a cyan light and Yunshu stabbed the snake man under him with all his strength. Ding! Exclamation mark. Bang! The long sword pierced the snake man's back, but was blocked by something, and then a powerful fighting spirit burst out from the snake man's back, and the cloud tree behind him was thrown several meters away. There's something. The snake man praised Yunshu, who was being bounced away. The cyan light attached to the sword made him feel a little bit of danger, but due to the large gap in strength, he didn't hurt him. Damn it. Let him run away. The snake man had just finished praising Yunshu when he found that Haibodon had disappeared. I'll clean you up next time. The snake man looked at Yunshu not far away and said coldly, and then a gust of wind blew by, and the whole snake disappeared. Lying grass. This guy is so fucking disrespectful. Yunshu looked at Haibodon who had disappeared and burst out a swear word. I did him a favor no matter what. After all, the target of the snake man was not me, but Haeboding. But this guy ran away without saying a word when he saw Yunshu and the snake man fighting together. Damn it, you two psychopaths. Don't let me see you again. Yunshu spat out a mouthful of blood, and he didn't react to block the snake tail just now, so he still suffered a little injury, but it wasn't too serious. Rest should be back soon. Look at that guy going that way. There should be some supply point there. Yunshu looked at the empty canyon and thought about it before Haeboding had been going in that direction, so he simply went there the edge past. On the other side, among a big clam that the wooden cart just passed by, Miss Snake was knocking on the shell of the clam, trying to escape. After all, she also saw the scene of sand mussels predating when she passed by here just now, and she was afraid that she would be digested by sand mussels when she was hidden here. Let me out. When Miss Snake was about to try to push it away again, the clam's shell was suddenly opened. What were you doing just now? You almost killed me, Miss Snake Girl complained. By the way, where's that little brother, Yunshu? Snake Girl asked suddenly. I don't know, he should be dead, Haeboding said lightly. He is a killer. It is not unusual for accidents to occur during missions. In his eyes, it was impossible to survive under the strength of the opponent Douluo, but thinking of Yunshu's sudden and strange method before, he was not sure if Yunshu was dead. What? Miss Snake Girl covered her mouth in disbelief and said, "You are so powerful, why didn't you save him?" End of this chapter. Chapter 130 Dodge. What? You are so powerful, why didn't you save him? He's only 13 years old. Miss Snake Man yelled at Haeboding. You are my task. He is just a passerby. Everyone's fate is determined before birth, and this is his fate, Haeboding said lightly, and then grabbed the little snake man. My sister was ready to continue on her way. You lunatic. I don't want to go with you. Miss Snake Man wanted to push Haeboding's hand away, but she was powerless now, so how could she resist a Douluo? He was led by Haeboding and continued on his way. On this side, Yunshu walked for another half an hour and finally found a mercenary guild named Song of the Desert not far ahead. Hey, there is such a thin-skinned and tender-skinned little guy who dares to enter the depths of the desert. Some people at the gate of the guild had an evil idea after seeing Yunshu's young appearance. Look at the ring in that kid's hand. It must be very valuable. Maybe it's inside. Ha ha ha. Several people gathered together to discuss killing and seizing the treasure after Yunshu left. Oh. Yunshu walked to the door, and before he opened the door, he heard various booing sounds inside. This place is a mercenary guild. It seems that Haeboding has accepted some mission here, and that Lady Snake Girl should be his mission. Yunshu narrowed his eyes and then pushed open the door of the guild. Who? It seemed that the appearance of Yunshu disturbed the people who were having fun inside, and a bearded man came out and said dissatisfied. A guy who is not even a fighter. What are you doing in our mercenary guild? Because Yunshu hid all the energy in his body except for the fighting spirit. Even the Douluo could only perceive the only energy in Yunshu's body. There are a few stages of fighting spirit, let alone these wastes. The bearded man sensed Yunshu's strength and said with a bad look, the mercenary guild is actually just a gang formed by a group of scumbags or robbers. When they meet someone with strength, they may be more honest, but when encountering someone like Yunshu, I'm afraid the ending will be very different. Ahem. Yunshu felt a little helpless, feeling that he would be bullied everywhere if he didn't reveal his strength. In order to scare the chickens and monkeys, Yunshu could only randomly select a lucky one and crushed him on the spot, which shocked those guys who were about to make a move. Give me a glass of milk. Yunshu sat down in front of the bar, looked at the passerby who was so scared that he peed his pants and said lightly, Big, my lord, we have no milk here. Only wine. Do you think you need it? The guy who peed his pants said tremblingly. The brilliant killing technique of the scene just now had already taken him away. Stuttered with fright. TSK, I'm not old enough to drink. Let's have a glass of water. Yunshu shook his head. He has never drank alcohol in his 2 lifetimes because drinking is harmful to the body and has no benefit. The mercenaries naturally couldn't understand Yunshu's rule of not drinking alcohol. After all, no one in this world stipulated that children should not drink alcohol, so they could only carefully send Yunshu a large glass of water, no less precious than gold. Boom. The door was pushed open violently. As soon as Yunshu poured water into his mouth, he was startled by the sound of the door banging and almost choked to death. When you fucking open the door, you can't lie on the grass. It's you. Yunshu turned around and was about to curse, but found out that the person who came was actually the Heiboden who ran away before. You heartless guy actually dared to appear in front of me. I helped you fight against the enemy and you actually ran away. You. Yunshu pointed at Heiboden and cursed. With the same fighting emperor, Heiboden's strength is obviously not as good as that mysterious snake man before. Since Yunshu is sure that he can kill that mysterious snake man, he is naturally worthy of Heiboden in front of him. Little brother Yunshu, you're not dead. It's great. After hearing the familiar voice, Miss Snake, who was following Heiboden, swam forward and hugged Yunshu. When Yunshu heard these words, he glanced at Heiboden, and it was no accident that the stinky hairy man in front of him told the snake lady that she had already died. Follow me. Heiboden ignored Yunshu's scolding, but led Snake Girl into the inner room. Miss Snake Girl also knew that Heiboden was entrusted to rescue her, so she didn't resist at this time. She also wanted to meet this so-called acquaintance. Want to know? Yunshu, who was drinking water outside, suddenly sensed several powerful auras approaching, and one of them was the mysterious snake man from before. Yunshu's perception method is somewhat different from that of people in this world. People in this world use soul power to perceive, while Yunshu perceives through breath. This perception range is far larger than the range of soul power perception. I might be able to deal with it alone, but there are still so many people behind. I have to avoid it first. Yunshu thought to himself, and then Yunshu followed into the room inside. Since the other party's target is the little snake man's sister, then Yunshu, who has a crush on her, naturally wants to help her. The mysterious snake man who attacked us earlier brought someone here, Yunshu said immediately after entering. Ah. Little brother Yunshu, can you take me away? I can be your servant. The snake girl just begged Heiboden to take her away, but was rejected by Heiboden. At this moment, Yunshu walked in. I'm here to take you away. The snake man outside should be here for you. I'll see you off first. Yunshu patted Miss Snake Girl's hand that was tightly grasping his clothes. She was really terrified and trembling all over. Divine power. Yunshu sent Miss Snake Girl into the Shenwei space. Tear apart the space. You are a Daozun. No. If you were a Daozun, you wouldn't have been kicked away. Heiboden had clearly seen Yunshu distorting the space and throwing a person out of front of him. Transfer. Although I have seen Yunshu coming out of a different space before, but because he was in the desert at that time, it was not uncommon for mirages to appear, so he didn't care. And if it was really Daozun, how could he be trapped in the desert? It should be some kind of mysterious fighting skill. Heiboden thought to himself. What are you looking at? Do you expect me to send you away too? Yunshu looked at Heiboden and said cursingly, HMPH. Heiboden ignored Yunshu and flew away from the window. Eye of Sand. After Yunshu left an Eye of Sand, he followed into the Shenwei space. Miss Snake would probably be scared if she stayed alone in that dark space. End of this chapter. Chapter 131. Not long after Yunshu entered the Shenwei space, a powerful coercion instantly covered the entire mercenary union. What's going on? Such a strong coercion. The mercenaries in the building were already under such strong pressure that they couldn't get up. Soon the coercion ended, but a terrifying momentum appeared at the door of the trade union. Boom! Exclamation mark. The gate of the guild building was completely kicked down, and a few snakemen swam in. Snake human race broke into the human controlled area. A mercenary stood up and looked at Queen Medusa in front of him and said angrily. Another mercenary who looked like he had drunk too much stood up. Seeing the plump and exquisite peach-like beautiful woman in the middle of the hall, he suddenly had evil thoughts in his heart. If you are willing to play with the brothers. Ha ha ha. Heh. Medusa sneered and attacked the mercenary who spoke rudely with a random attack. No, not even a scum was left. Your Majesty. Inside. The male snake man Yanji pointed at the room where Yunshu and the others were before. Well, get rid of them all. Medusa looked at the room and said to her subordinates, "Get them outside. Don't disturb Her Majesty the Queen." The snake people said, after seeing Medusa enter the room, "This person is the one we hired to catch the traitor, but I didn't expect him to have been killed, and the death time was not more than a day." Yanxi pointed at the dead boss in front of him. "Your Majesty, the murderer should have escaped from here, and the traitor's clues have been broken." Yan Thorn pointed at the open window beside him. "There are still things here." Medusa slowly swam to the clothes hanger aside and took down a yellow sphere that looked like an eyeball. "I will definitely find you. Then it will be your death time." Queen Medusa said coldly to the yellow sphere, and then directly crushed Yunshu's sand eye, turning it into sand on the ground. "Arrange a few snake guards to monitor this place. If you find any clues, report to me directly." Medusa, who pinched the sand-blasting eyes, also knew that the other party had escaped, so she left the mercenary guild after a few orders. "Yes, Her Majesty the Queen. I didn't expect that mysterious snake man to be Queen Medusa." In the Shenwei space, Yunshu looked at the snake man who looked exactly like Queen Medusa, and said in surprise, "Medusa, Queen." Miss Snakeman said confusedly, "She has forgotten everything now, so the Queen is just a stranger to her. Also, you look too much like Queen Medusa. You can't be her sister." Yunshu said speechlessly. Yunshu remembered that Queen Medusa in the original book seemed to have no sisters. Could it be that Medusa had sisters more than 20 years ago? Her sister died in this pursuit. It's very possible. Yunshu thought to himself. I don't remember anything. Miss Snakeman said in pain, holding her head. "Well then, I'll show you what Medusa looks like." Yunshu opened Sharingan and released an illusion similar to you do to Miss Snake Girl. A phantom of Queen Medusa appeared beside them. "It really seems. Could it be? Is she really my sister?" Miss Snake Girl caressed the virtual Medusa's face and said blankly, "Can you take me to meet her? I think I will be able to recall everything after seeing her." Miss Snake Girl suddenly hugged Yunshu's arm and said beggingly, "Don't worry. I won't regret being your maid. I just want to know my life experience. And is Queen Medusa my sister?" Miss Snake Man said, "No, what I want to say is that Medusa is a powerful Daohuang. With so many guards around her, I can't beat her at all." Yunshu said helplessly. Yunshu is Medusa's now, or thorn in the side, and even the young lady next to her is also a traitor of the snake human race. It is almost impossible for the two of them to talk to Medusa. As soon as the two sides meet, they will fight. And Queen Medusa can clearly perceive anyone who enters the territory of the snake people. "I'm afraid that I will be arrested as soon as I enter the snake people." Yunshu scratched his head. "So it seems that if he wants to see Medusa, I'm afraid I had to force it in." "Don't worry, if there is a chance, I will definitely take you to see her. This space is very safe, and no one can break in without my consent, so you can stay here with peace of mind, waiting for me when sneak up to Medusa's side and let you out." Yunshu looked at the pitiful snake man lady and comforted her. "No, it looks too deserted here. I want to follow you." Miss Snakeman hurriedly grabbed Yunshu, not wanting Yunshu to leave her alone in this dark space. "Okay, but it's too dangerous outside. You must not run around." Aha. In this way, Yunshu took Miss Snakeman out of the Shenwei dimension. Because we don't know the territory of the snake people, we have to go to the nearest city to see if there is any place that sells maps. Yunshu and Miss Snake People walked on the way to Stone Desert City. You can go to the snake people, but it is so easy to be found, and with such a dragging bottle of Yunshu, there is really no way to defeat those snake people, let alone the fighting Emperor Queen Medusa. By the way, do you have a name? Yunshu stopped suddenly and looked at Miss Snake Man behind him. "I don't know. I can't remember anything now," Miss Snakeman said while holding her head in pain. "Then, do you have something you like?" Yunshu thought for a while and planned to choose a name for the Snake Man lady in front of him. Otherwise it would be too inconvenient not to have a name. "Things I like." Miss Snake looked at the front in confusion, and suddenly a butterfly gradually flew to Miss Snake's hand. "Butterfly," Miss Snakeman murmured while looking at the butterfly in her hand. "Butterfly." Yunshu squinted her eyes when she saw the butterfly in Miss Snakeman's hand. It seemed that she was almost approaching the place where human beings live. so she had to hide her first. K-die. Yunshu said suddenly. Miss Snakeman froze for a moment. How about the name KD? Yunshu looked at Miss Snakeman expectantly. This name was thought of by Yunshu, based on Medusa's name. K-die. Nice. Then I will be called K-die from now on. K-die said happily, while hugging Yunshu. Well, but now I still have to wrong you to enter the Shenwei space first, and you will soon enter the city where human beings live. You also know that human beings treat you. But don't worry, I will take you out when I get the map. Yunshu patted K-die's hand to comfort her. Okay, then you must be quick. K-die nodded. Okay. End of this chapter. Chapter 132 Mosi. After sending the butterfly into the Shenwei space, Yunshu quickly ran to the nearby city. This seems to be the city where the shop selling maps opened by Heibodon in the original book is located. Yunshu came to the gate and looked up. The stone plaque at the gate was engraved with the words Moching. It just so happens that I'm about to break through the Dao Zhe, so I can stop by to see if there are any fighting skills for sale. Yunshu came to the city wall, penetrated the city wall and entered Moching, and he had to pay money to pass through the gate, so the fool would go there. Yunshu stopped a passer before questioning and came to a shop selling maps. Boss, the map is on your right, tell me when you've selected it. Yunshu was just about to speak when the boss said in a troublesome manner. Yunshu was stunned for a moment. He didn't expect that the boss who opened the map store would have such a personality, and it seems that Heibodon will be like this in the future. Huh. Yunshu was stunned suddenly. He just remembered that Heibodon's strength should have been sealed by Medusa in the original book. Could it be that he was sealed in this operation? But Yunshu clearly remembered that Medusa's target was only the colorful butterfly, and the last time he fought in the canyon was also because Heibodon brought the colorful butterfly. Could it be that they were arrested because there was no reminder from the mercenary guild in the original book? It was because of Heibodon that his grudge was sealed, and KD died in Medusa's hands because of this. Intervene, so Heibodon escaped a catastrophe? Thinking of this, Yunshu understood everything. It turned out that his appearance disturbed the plot, causing K-die to be rescued by him, and Heibodon also escaped early. Yunshu rubbed his chin. It seems that next time he meets that guy, he can take the opportunity to blackmail him. After all, he has unknowingly accepted such a big favor from him. Boss, is there a map of the whole desert here? Yunshu searched for a long time, but found that there was no map that marked the territory of the snake human tribe. Young man, no one has been able to travel the entire Tagore desert so far. It would be nice to have these maps, the boss said lightly. Those who can travel the entire desert are all strong members of the big family, but how can such strong people lower their status to draw a map for a mere small shop? So no one who can draw a map can travel the entire desert. Yes, there is no so-called topographic map of the entire desert. Then, is there a map marking the territory of the snake people? Yunshu asked in surprise. We must know that among the human beings living in the desert, they can't wait to kill the snake people with their own hands. But no one dares to set foot in the territory of the snake people, because the Queen Medusa of the snake people can clearly perceive that anyone who steps into her territory humans. So almost all the humans who could enter the snake people were killed by the snake people. Boy, do you want to seek death? The boss finally raised his head and looked at Yunshu and said in surprise. Boss, you misunderstood, because I'm a road idiot. If I have a map that accurately marks the territory of the snake people, I can avoid stepping into that place. Yunshu quickly explained. There is no sign of the territory of the snake people on the ordinary map. You must know the powerful strength of Queen Medusa. If I accidentally break into the territory of the snake people, I don't know. Wouldn't it be an unjust death? Yunshu continued. Well, you kid has a clear mind, but you are right. Although I don't have an accurate map of the snake human territory, I do know the approximate location of the snake human tribe. I can draw a map for you on the spot, but at this price. I understand. Yunshu nodded and took out a bag of gold coins. Okay, I'll draw a map for you now. It may take about half an hour. Just wait for a while. The boss said with eyes shining when he saw a bag of gold coins. Okay, I'll go out for a stroll and come back in half an hour to get it. This is the deposit. Yunshu took out half of the gold coins and threw them to the boss. After leaving the map shop, Yunshu was going to look for a shop that sold fighting skills. Although Yunshu also knew that such a ghostly place definitely didn't have any powerful fighting skills. But what if he missed it? Xiao Yan was able to meet a rare medicinal blood lotus essence among a group of Coptist Chinenses. Maybe Yunshu could also encounter some fragments of fighting skills at the stage of heaven and earth. What? There is no shop selling fighting skills? Yes, my lord. Mochang is just a small city in the desert. How could there be such a high-end store selling fighting skills? Yunshu stopped a little brother on the side of the road. The other party was not very cooperative at first, and he wanted to get some benefits from Yunshu before he was willing to tell Yunshu. After all, children in the desert are wild, so they got a meal in the end. Only after fighting did he tell Yunshu the truth. Looking at the young man with blue nose and swollen face, who was about 5 or 6 years older than himself, Yunshu felt a little headache. Did he have to go to Black Rock City again? My lord. Although Mochang doesn't sell fighting skills, there is a place where you might be able to get fighting skills. The young man said to Yunshu as if remembering something. Where? Yunshu asked in surprise. It's not far. My lord, just follow me. The young man began to lead the way, and Yunshu squinted his eyes to follow the young man. He wanted to see what kind of medicine was sold in this wave of goods. After walking for about 5 minutes, the two came to the door of a strange building. My lord, there is a guy named Demosi who lives here. This guy's nose can smell things that are buried tens of meters deep in the desert, so he often wanders in the desert, looking for those who have been left behind, or the rings left by those who died in the desert. Yeah. Yunshu nodded. The nose named Demosi must have mutated, or he had practiced fighting skills that can enhance the sense of smell. Let's go. Yunshu kicked the young man in front of him to lead him in. Don't worry about it, my lord. It is said that Mosi has a bad temper, and he usually only opens the door at night, so maybe he is. The young man stood at the door and said anxiously, go in. I'll be responsible for what happens. Yunshu kicked the young man's ass again, trying to trick himself into it. What if there are robbers or human traffickers inside? Possible. Although he was not afraid of robbers, Yunshu, who had cheated him, would naturally not choose to let him go, so it was the best choice to use him to scout the way. Alright then. The young man tremblingly pushed open the door of the building and walked in cautiously. What? The young man who had just stepped in with his front foot suddenly let out a scream. End of this chapter. Chapter 133. This is the first novel I have signed a contract, and it is also the first novel that can persist in writing more than 20 words and put it on the shelves. Now that I think about it, I'm a little excited. In fact, the purpose of writing novels at the beginning was entirely because I couldn't find the novels I wanted to read, so I did it myself. Not much nonsense. There are still 2 normal updates after it is put on the shelves. If I have an inspiration one day, maybe I can add a few more updates. In addition, thanks to those who have always supported me and voted for me every day. Brothers, I love you. End of this chapter. Chapter 134. What? As soon as the young man stepped in with one foot, he let out a scream. Is there really a problem? Yunshu narrowed his eyes, ready to evacuate. My lord, save me. The young man looked back and saw that Yunshu was about to leave and immediately hugged Yunshu's thigh, but Yunshu directly dragged him out of the room. Yunshu looked at the animal trap on the young man's leg and was speechless for a while. This man named Mosi actually put a animal trap behind the main entrance of his house. It's just a trap. Look at how promising you are. Yunshu shook off the young man's arm hugging his thigh and said with disgust, bear trap. The young man said in embarrassment after he calmed down and saw the bear trap on his feet. When he stepped into the room just now, his thigh felt a sharp pain. He thought he was bitten by some kind of monster, so he was frightened into such a ghostly look. This young man is also a fighter at any rate. Although the trap can hurt people, it won't kill people. It's just that it hurts more when caught. But this is also for fighters. Ordinary humans will still, there is a risk of excessive blood loss. Okay, you go back. Yunshu saw that this person didn't seem to be putting on a show, and now that he was also injured, he simply let him leave directly. Then he broke into this strange and unpredictable building by himself. Boom, boom, boom. The room was very quiet, and Yunshu's own footsteps could be heard clearly. The doors of several rooms on the first floor were all open upstairs. Yunshu walked up the stairs cautiously and slowly walked up to the second floor step by step. No mechanism. Yunshu, who had already arrived on the second floor, wondered in his heart. Just now, the young man stepped on a bear trap just after entering the door, indicating that this guy named MOC should be the same kind of person as Guten, so there should be a lot of people in the house. There are also a lot of disgusting things. But Yunshu hasn't found a single problem after coming in for so long. This can't help but make Yunshu more cautious. He can't wait to go out and get promoted to Emperor Dao first, and then come to explore this weird house. There seemed to be some treasure that isolated the breath in the house, and Yunshu couldn't sense where the people inside were at all. It seems that this guy does have something, even something to block the breath. Yunshu narrowed his eyes, and he began to expect that this guy had something good. Normally, if you pick up leaks in this kind of place, you should come across something good. Then, the see-through eye. Yunshu didn't intend to continue playing hide and seek, and directly opened the see-through eye to scan the entire second floor. It has been half an hour since he came out, and he can get the map in half an hour, and Katie is still waiting for him to bring her out in the Shenwei space. This is. Yunshu was a little surprised by the picture he saw with his clairvoyant eyes. He didn't expect that all the rooms on the second floor were empty. No wonder Yunshu didn't expect to encounter a trap, even after coming in for such a long time. Yes, and the really effective passage is actually hidden underground. It seems that it is not something that isolating the breath that blocks Yunshu's perception, but that there is really nothing in this house, so Yunshu has no perception of anything arrive. Keeping his clairvoyance like this, Yunshu went down to the first floor again and found a secret passage at the back of the stairs. Although the see-through eye can see through walls and other things, it cannot see through the ground, so Yunshu can only walk carefully and slowly underground and is ready to enter the virtual state at any time. Did this idiot dig a hole specially? Why is it so deep? Yunshu complained in his heart. It has been almost 10 minutes since he entered the secret passage, and it has not yet reached the end. After walking for about 3 minutes, Yunshu finally sensed a special aura. What is this? A guy with a mixture of humans and beasts again. Yunshu frowned. There was an aura underneath, but it was the same as the butterfly. Not only had the aura of humans, but also mixed with the aura of monsters. It seems that the so-called MOC is also a half-orc. Yunshu thought to himself, no wonder he could smell something so deep in the ground. It turned out to be a kind of monster. Who? Before Yunshu reached the bottom, a sharp voice came up from the ground. It seems that guy is right. His nose is indeed very good. Yunshu thought to himself, he could smell his own scent from such a distance. Then I'll go straight down. Yunshu turned on the blur and sank quickly. Soon, they came to a dark and gloomy space. You are MOC. Yunshu came to the underground space and said indifferently when he saw the guy in the cloak in front of him. Although he couldn't see his face clearly, he was the only one in the entire underground space. If there is no accident, he should be MOC. Think. Who are you? You were able to find my secret base. MOC's voice was a bit strange, as if she was speaking with her throat squeezed, and the sharp voice was very uncomfortable to hear. I heard that you have fighting skills here, and I'm here to trade with you. Yunshu directly stated his purpose. Deal. HMPH, I found my secret base. It's impossible for you to get out alive. MOC sneered, then waved his hand, and the stairs leading to the ground were blocked by an iron door that seemed to have been sealed. Blocked 5 minutes later. I'm sorry, I was wrong. MOC, whose nose was bruised and face swollen from the beating, was kneeling on the ground begging Yunshu for mercy. So you are a treasure hunting mouse? Yunshu looked at the little ghost disguised as an adult in front of him and said in surprise. The real figure of this guy was about the same as that of Tang San when he was 6 years old, but in this dark underground space Yunshu didn't notice it at first. Yes, 4 years ago I accidentally broke into the cave of an unknown strong man in the Warcraft mountains and found that the owner of the cave was dead long ago. Later, on the way to find the treasure, I found a metamorphosis grass, which I ate. After going down, I accidentally touched the mechanism in the cave, and after being teleported out, I found that I had turned into a human being. Dong Fu. The treasure hunting mouse said so much that Yunshu was almost stunned when he heard the cave. In this kind of fantasy world, the cave of the strong represents countless treasures left behind, let alone Lionhua. Isn't the treasure in the cave, which has high-level medicinal materials such as Wangyoucao? Where is the cave? Yunshu said excitedly. I broke in by mistake at the time, and after being teleported out, I couldn't find the entrance I entered at that time. Treasure hunter said a little speechlessly, seeing Yunshu's eyes shining. It was also planning to enter again at that time, but the second time it couldn't find the entrance to enter at that time. I should have a way to get in. You don't want to leave Mochung anytime soon. When I come back from my work, take me there. If we can find the things in the cave, we'll make a difference. Yunshu said after calming down. Really? Treasure hunting mouse's eyes lit up. As a treasure hunting mouse in human form with impressive wisdom, it is no longer satisfied with finding treasures, and collecting treasures is what it likes. End of this chapter. Chapter 135 Tenderness. I didn't expect this little guy to have such a treasure. Yunshu looked at the jade slip in his hand and sighed. Okay, it's almost time. Go back and get the map. Yunshu put away the jade slip and came to the map shop. The little boss is here. This is the map you want. Keep it. As soon as Yunshu came in, the boss offered the map with both hands in a flattering tone. Yunshu took the map and threw the rest of the money to the boss and bought a monster for the journey before re-entering the desert. Thank you so much, little brother. K-Dai said softly while sitting behind Yunshu. Can you stop calling me little brother? Yunshu said quietly. The little brother is really unbearable. Then I'll call you little tree. K-Dai smiled sweetly. Well, that's what my friends call me. Yunshu nodded. It's a long way, and it's at least 100 miles away from the snake human territory. Don't you really want to enter the Shenmue space? Yunshu said after a moment of pause. It's agreed to be your servant, Xiaoshu. Of course I want to take care of you outside. KD didn't seem to reject the status of a servant. She hugged Yunshu's waist and said in a soft voice. Forget it, it's up to you. Yunshu said helplessly. K-Dai seemed to have some psychological shadow, and a person would fall into a state of mild panic after being in a confined space for a long time. When Yunshu returned to the desert and went into the Shenmue space to pick her up, she was curled up in a corner of the house, trembling with her head in her hands. Although Yunshu didn't know why Snakeman was listed as a traitor by the Snakeman, but judging from the relationship during this period of time, KD was not a bad person, and his personality was different from the normal Snakeman. Yunshu also vaguely guessed that KD and Medusa should be biological sisters, but KD's friendly attitude towards humans is not accepted by the tribe, so Medusa hates iron but steel, and KD doesn't know he escaped from the snake human clan by using forbidden techniques and secret methods, so he was listed as a traitor. This also explains why KD loses her memory. It is probably a side effect of the forbidden technique. Of course, these are just Yunshu's guesses. The real situation can only be found out after going to the snake race and confronting Medusa face to face. By the way, I have a transformation pill here. Give it to you. Yunshu suddenly remembered that he had obtained this transformation pill a long time ago, but it was useless all the time. Willing to turn into a human, it seems that this time it can finally be used. Shaping pill? What do you mean? K-Da looked at the pill in Yunshu's hand suspiciously. It allows you to transform into a human form and grow legs. Not only can you have the long lifespan of monster, but you can also have the cultivation talent of a human being. Growing legs? You dislike my snake tail and it's uncomfortable to lie on. K-Dai pouted and said, not realizing the value of this 7th grade elixir at all. Yunshu blushed. He just wanted to rest on the back of the monster for a while, but K-Dai saw his tired appearance and took the initiative to hug him and began to massage him. Shaping pill is a 7th grade elixir. This is the ultimate elixir that even your bad-tempered queen sister wants to get. If she can transform into a human form, I believe she can break through the Daozong in a short time with her talent. Yunshu explained to KD angrily. Then why don't you take such a valuable elixir yourself? Kadai asked suspiciously. I'm a human. It's useless to eat it. It's not too wasteful. Yunshu said speechlessly. Oh. Kadai seemed to understand the importance of this pill and gently took the transformation pill. Eat at ease. I will protect you. Yunshu looked at Kadai and smiled. At that moment, Yunshu's sunny smile poured into Kadai's heart, and the inadvertent smile made Kadai feel unprecedented warmth. Tears could not be stopped. Kadai rushed up and hugged Yunshu, although the boy in her arms was not yet an adult, but he had already left a deep imprint in her heart. What's wrong? Yunshu looked at Kadai, who was crying into tears in his arms, and said gloomily. I remembered everything. Kadai shrank into Yunshu's arms and said in tears. You remember it all? Yunshu said in shock. Is there still such an operation? After a while, Kadai wiped off the tears on her face and sat solemnly opposite Yunshu. I'm the sister of Queen Medusa. Kadai said slowly. Well, I guessed it. Yunshu nodded and said, they both look exactly the same, so they must be sisters. Each generation of Queen Medusa of the snake people came to this world from an egg. My sister and I are identical twins, but the snake people can only have one Queen Medusa. Kadai said quietly with a sullen face. I see. That pedantic snake man elder wants your sisters to kill each other. Yunshu became angry when he heard this. What kind of idiot can still be an elder? Which family doesn't want as many strong men as possible in their own family? But this brain-dead old man actually wants to kill a Daohuang strong man to elect their Queen Medusa, just because of the unreasonable rules handed down from that family. They were originally expelled by humans to the desert where snake people were not suitable for survival because their ethnic group was too weak. If two Daohuang strongmen could be born in the clan, they would definitely be able to regain their territory. After all, the entire Jayamar Empire did not surpass the Daohuang. A strong man of strength. My dream is to live this life freely, but my sister's dream is to lead the people out of the desert. We all have things we want to do, and we don't want each other to die like this. My sister is more than me. It is more suitable to be a queen, so I returned the position of queen to my sister, and used the space forbidden technique to escape from the snake people. The side effect of the forbidden technique caused you to temporarily lose your memory and forget your own cultivation. Yunshu continued. That's right. After that, I met Haberdang, and then met you again. Kadai looked at Yunshu tenderly after saying this. Yunshu doesn't deserve to be a man if he doesn't know what Kadai wants, even though he is a boy now. Watching the butterfly slowly swim to his side, Yunshu just wanted to hug her. Someone is coming. Yunshu frowned. Several powerful auras were approaching them. Your people. Yunshu looked at Kadai. There's no need to hide anymore. You're right. I want to make it clear to my sister. Kadai said calmly. Her sister is the queen of the snake people, and a pedantic elder should not be allowed to control the snake people. But your strength. Yunshu was a little worried. Forbidden space technique, as the name suggests, is a forbidden technique. The side effect is definitely not as simple as amnesia. Kadai's cultivation base has dropped from Daohuang to the level of low-level Daowang. Forget it. You're not afraid. Wouldn't it be a little cowardly for me to be so pretentious at this time? Yunshu said helplessly. Fortunately he is stronger. End of this chapter. If you're listening to this novel on a channel other than Fanfic World, it means they downloaded and uploaded it without effort. We cordially invite you to visit our channel, Mundo Fanfic Novelos. There you'll find the original version of this story and you can explore many other novels of various genres. We're waiting for you to immerse yourself in a world of incredible novels. Chapter 136, Chasing and Killing. The traitor is ahead. Kill the traitor. Yunshu and Kadai did not run away, but waited for them in place. Since Kadai wanted to end all this, Yunshu was naturally willing to accompany them. Countless arrows fell from the sky and shot at the two of them. Yunshu opened the Susanoo to protect the butterfly, and then rushed out of the Susanoo to fight with the snakes. Only Itachi has done this operation outside of Susanoo, but Itachi is to release water, and Yunshu is to protect the colorful butterflies behind him. Langyou and sword. Yunshu rushed to the crowd of snakes with the interpreter in his right hand and the Langyou and sword in his left, slashing non-stop. Hold this human off. The rest of you will follow me to kill the traitor. Seeing that Yanshu's strength was just like this, Yanchuan asked a group of snakemen of fighting spirit level to hold Yanshu back while he himself, but he chose to lead the remaining clansmen to kill KD. How dare you? Ucha flame formation. Yanshu inserted the interpreter into a dead snake man and slapped the ground with his right hand, gathering flames. A huge flame barrier traps the leader of the snake people and other powerful snake people in the barrier. The natural attributes of the snake people are cold and cold. It is impossible to break through the flame barrier directly, otherwise even if they don't die, they will definitely be seriously injured. Since you're looking for death, you can't blame us. Brothers, attack this human together. With a wave of Yanthorn's big hand, all the snakemen in the barrier rushed towards Yanshu with spears in their hands. Sonic shock! Exclamation mark. Yanshu pulled out the interpreter and quickly sprinted to the side of the snake man Yanchuan, slashing at his neck, and all the snake men on the way were knocked into the air by Yanshu clang! Exclamation mark. Yan stab blocked Yanshu's slash. Hey! Double flash. Yanshu grinned and instantly appeared behind Yanchuan. The Wangyoucao sword in his left hand directly pierced Yanchuan's abdomen with his backhand. Earth Dungeon Yellow Spring Marsh. Yanshu planned to restrain these snake people first, and then went out to help KD. All the sand in the flame barrier turned into a swamp, and all the snake people were sunk into the swamp at once. Ha ha ha. Kid, don't you know that swamps are more suitable for snake people to live in than deserts? Flamethorn, clutching his abdomen, laughed after seeing that Yanshu had created such a place suitable for snake people to live in. Careless, Yanshu really didn't expect it. Originally, Yanshu regarded Huangquan swamp and flame formation as a combination technique specially used to trap the opponent, but Yanshu forgot that pythons live in swamps and water, and now it provides a more comfortable battle for the opponent environment. Art fire escape ho fireball. Yanshu saw that these snake people began to chatter one by one, and a big fireball sprayed down. Gurgle gurgle. Seeing this, a group of snake people all got into the swamp, and the fireball rushed to the swamp, but it was lonely. Forget it, these guys can't get out anyway. Yanshu had no choice but to directly penetrate the barrier and rush towards KD, who was surrounded by a group of snakemen. The side effects of the butterfly forbidden technique have not disappeared, not to mention a decline in strength, and she is not a person who likes to fight, so she is invincible to these experienced snake soldiers, even if their strength is higher than the opponent for a while pass. Vincian heavenly induction. The snake people who were fighting were suddenly controlled by a powerful suction force, and began to fly towards Yanshu quickly. Fuck off. When the snakes were about to approach Yanshu, Yanshu used repulsion again to knock them all into the air. Aren't you hurt? Yanshu came to Keida's side and hugged Keida and asked. Keida shook her head and stood behind Yanshu. The two stood back to back and looked at the snake people slowly surrounding them. Take this. Yanshu handed the interpreter to Keida. Although Keida cannot use the skills that come with the sword, at least it is better than empty-handed. With his right hand now free, Yanshu released another Wuhan Wangyoucao. Extremely cold domain. Yanshu opened the domain to increase the strength of the colorful butterfly and weaken the power of the snake man. Kill. A group of snake people rushed up clamoring. Sleeping flower blade. Yanshu waved his hand, and several cold lights shot at the snake man rushing towards them. All the snakemen hit by the flower blade fell into a deep sleep. You can't fight like this anymore. Don't you want to see your sister? Yanshu felt that if the fight continued like this, there was really no hope of reconciliation. Can no longer be accepted by the snake people. Katie fell silent. She simply didn't have the strength to break through these clansmen to meet her sister. Your sister is no longer here. It's useless for us to continue fighting. You go to the Shenwei space first. HMM. KD nodded, pointed present. This is the only way to go. These should only be the snake people who came out to search, and Medusa probably doesn't know about it yet. Shenwei. Yanshu sent the butterfly into the Shenwei space. Where are the traitors? Why is the traitor missing? When the remaining snake people rushed to Yanshu, they said in surprise when they found that the butterfly was gone. I don't understand. Even though they were all driven into the desert, how could there be so much water in their brains? Yunshu looked at the snake men in front of him and shook his head. Kill this human. The snake people reacted. Even though the traitor is gone, humans are still the enemy of the snake people, so they are ready to kill Yunshu. Earth explosion star. Yunshu folded his hands together and created a black sphere. Of course, in order not to kill these snakemen, Yunshu did not set a high gravitational force. At most, he could crush these snakemen into serious injuries, so as not to die, and this technique did not have the support of Yunshu chakra for now will be automatically released afterwards. After leaving the snakeman army, Yunshu brought KD out again. What should I do now? Should I go directly to your hometown? Yunshu looked at Kadai and said, he didn't know what to do anymore. The original plan was to take Kadai with amnesia to find Medusa. Now Kadai recovered, I remember, but the identity is still a traitor of the snake human race. She wants to see Medusa. Medusa may not necessarily want to see her. My dream has been achieved. The next step is to help my sister. I must make it clear to my sister. KD looked at Yunshu and said seriously, Zyoshu, I'm sorry. Can I give this transformation pill to my sister? Kadai took out the transformation pill that Yunshu gave her before. If my sister can successfully take shape, she will definitely be stronger. At that time, my sister's prestige in the clan will be even higher, so the elders in the clan will not dare to persecute my sister anymore. KD looked at Yunshu hoping to be able to obtain Yunshu's consent. I've already given you this transformation pill. You can do whatever you want with it. Yunshu touched Kada's head and said with a smile, thank you little tree. Mua. End of this chapter. Chapter 137. For Scarlet Sun Formation. My sister and I grew up in the clan, and we have no doubts about the words of the elders. The words of the elders can be said to be iron rules. Even though we have grown up now, because my sister has obeyed the elders since childhood, I still don't believe it for a while. I didn't think about it. As long as I can see my sister, I will be able to convince her. Yunshu and KD are walking in the barren desert, and KD begins to tell the story of her family life before she lost her memory. Well, I believe you. Isn't your sister Queen Medusa the most powerful person in your snake people clan? Why make her obey the words of an old and pedantic old man? Yunshu said lightly. Look, even you can figure it out with a little bit. I believe my sister will figure it out. Kadai's mood seemed to improve as her body practiced, and she said with a smile. You always feel like I'm an idiot when you say that. Yunshu said speechlessly. You are an idiot. Kadai said to Yunshu with a charming smile. Hey, your skin is itchy, right? Yunshu rolled up his sleeves and said unhappily. Catch me, your majesty. The team that went out to investigate the news encountered a traitor, but there was a powerful human warrior by his side, and the traitor was rescued by him. Reported from the gate of Medusa's palace. Well, keep searching, and let me know as soon as you have any news. Medusa said coldly, but what no one saw was the gleam of joy in her eyes after hearing that the traitor was rescued. After there was no one in the palace, Queen Medusa came to a secret room and put on the outfit that could hide her identity again. Medusa doesn't have any good feelings for humans. Although the human saved her sister, who knows if he has some kind of conspiracy or trick to target the snake man. After all, her sister has been very innocent since she was a child. So she didn't want her sister to stay with that human and planned to take her sister from that human. It's almost there. From the map, we should be able to arrive at the Snakeman tribe after another day or so. Yunshu put away the map and looked into the distance. Be careful. They didn't take 2 steps. A red arrow shot from a long distance. Yunshu hugged the butterfly and flew into the air to avoid the arrow. This aura is your sister. Only then did Yunshu realize that an aura not weaker than his appeared not far away. Damn, what a coincidence. The pursuers are here too. Yunshu cursed secretly, and a group of snake human soldiers came behind. You go to see your sister. I'll stop the pursuers. Yunshu said to Kadai. Shadow clone technique. Yunshu separated 4 shadow clones at once. Although the Uchiha flame formation can trap them for a while, these snakemen can also fight. If they attack a place with all their strength, they can still break through. So Yunshu could only use a bigger barrier to trap them. 4 Scarlet Sun formation. The 4 shadow clones came to the 4 corners of the snakeman soldiers and surrounded them, and finally sealed them with a barrier to trap them inside. The 4 sun formations can even resist the 10-tailed beast jade. You must know that the tailed beast jade is a skill that claims to have the power of nuclear weapons, destruction, and the 10-tailed beasts are stronger than the 9-tailed beasts combined. It is impossible for this group of snakemen who don't even have the strength to break through from the inside. This enchantment consumes too much energy. A shadow clone of Yunshu said in amazement, feeling the energy that was rapidly disappearing in his body. Judging from this speed, the 4 Scarlet Sun formations can only last for less than half an hour at most before disappearing, and at that time Yunshu's 4 shadow clones will also disappear. The 4 people who use the 4 Scarlet Sun formation in the original book are all dead, with unlimited chakra, so it seems so easy. Yunshu thought to himself looking at the red enchantment in front of him. And when Obito used the 6 Scarlet Yang formation, it was already at the 6 path level, so he was not worried about the consumption of chakra. Hurry up. Yunshu followed KD to Medusa. How's it going? Did you say it? Yunshu looked at KD and asked. Well, I believe my sister will understand soon. KD nodded. Humans, leave the snake human race. Medusa's smiling expression changed immediately when she saw Yunshu. Sister. KD looked at Medusa and shouted in dissatisfaction, then came to Yunshu's side and hugged Yunshu's arm. Sister. You. Medusa said in disbelief when she saw the 2 people in front of her. Seeing her sister like this, she knew that her heart had been won by the man in front of her. Sister, what do you think this is? KD mysteriously took out the 7th rank transformation pill that Yunshu had given him before. What is this? Medusa looked at the elixir in KD's hand and said suspiciously. She was not a pharmacist, so she couldn't tell the elixir in front of her at all. Sister, this is the 7th grade pill, the transformation pill. KD came to Medusa's side, took her hand, and put the transformation pill in Medusa's hand. Human. What does this mean? Medusa squinted her eyes at Yunshu and said coldly. She knows best about her sister. After all, she has lived together since she was a child. It is impossible to have a younger sister, so the transformation pill can only belong to the human being in front of him. Sister, you are the queen of our clan. Only when your strength improves, can you better deter those pedantic elders and lead us out of the desperate situation, trapped in the desert. Also, sister, I have a name now, and Zyoshu gave it to me, called KD. How is it? KD said happily, hugging Medusa like a child. Don't think I don't know what you're thinking, human. Shaper shifting pill. Are you trying to attack the snake human race while I'm transforming? Medusa looked at Yunshu and yelled. Sister. KD said dissatisfiedly, holding Medusa. No, do you have persecution paranoia? If you don't want this transformation pill, you can return it to KD. Yunshu said speechlessly. It is impossible for humans and snake people to be together. Even if I persuade the elders to revoke your status as a traitor, the tribe will not agree with you to be with a human being. Medusa persuaded KD beside her. He didn't pay any attention to Yunshu's exasperated appearance. HMPH, I don't agree. Then hit them until they agree. Yunshu eagerly said, while rubbing his fists. Presumptuous. Medusa scolded angrily. Crazy. Yunshu still didn't bother with this crazy woman from the perspective of KD. End of this chapter. Chapter 138 Challenge. Well, you can discuss it with your elders, and those who disagree can challenge me. If I win, I ask them to shut up completely. Yunshu said domineeringly. That's what you said. After hearing Yunshu's bold words, Medusa sneered imperceptibly across her seductive red lips. 9th stage Dao Key. Even if there are some weird means, it is impossible to survive the strong hands of our snake human race. This time, you are looking for death. Medusa thought to herself. Then let's settle your identity first. Yunshu looked at KD, determined to solve the problem of traitor, otherwise KD would not be accepted by the tribe. This is about our snake human race, why are you so enthusiastic? Medusa questioned while looking at Yunshu with squinted eyes. Zyode is my person now, my snake, her business is mine. Rectifying her name is the purpose of our coming here to talk with you. Yunshu looked at Medusa with unsatisfactory eyes. Said not lightly. You. Medusa frowned, as if she was speechless by Yunshu's words. Hey. Yunshu hugged the butterfly and gave Medusa a provocative smile. Okay, stop making trouble. Let's go back to the clan first. Kadai patted Yunshu's troubled hands. Her sister was in front. Wouldn't it be very embarrassing if she suddenly turned around? Kadai put on a mask after entering the Snake Man tribe. This is the one Medusa wore before. After all, the two are exactly the same, not only in appearance, but also in figure. And Yunshu used the transformation technique to become a female snake human and followed behind Medusa. Before the problem was solved, as long as Yunshu and Kadai exposed one of them, it would cause turmoil in the snake human tribe, so they had to talented people will cross-dress and enter the snake human race. You two wait outside first. When she came to the clan's temple, Queen Medusa first planned to go in alone to see if she could persuade the elders to agree to revoke Kadai's traitor status. We can only use tough methods to suppress this group of stubborn old people. Anyway, considering her strongest strength in the clan, it is impossible for people in the clan to have her opponent, and she is still the orthodox queen, so it is impossible for anyone to attack her. You said, sister, can she do it? Kadai's previous courage seemed to disappear the moment she entered the snake human clan, as if she had become the one who had lost her memory and could only hide behind Yunshu and beg for his protection. Miss Snake, believe her, she is your older sister, and she is the queen of the snake human race. Yunshu is very confident in Medusa. After all, this guy's character is still very tough. Judging from all the signs after passing her, Queen Medusa and her younger sister, Nache, have completely opposite personalities. Kadai snuggled into Yunshu's arms and nodded slightly. Little did they know that both of their conversations were heard by Queen Medusa, who had just stepped into the temple. This guy's really a strange human. Medusa thought to herself. It was the first time she saw humans who didn't feel any rejection towards their snake humans, and even fell in love with her snake human sister. However, what this kid said gave me confidence. I must help my sister recover her identity. Medusa encouraged herself in her heart. Elder, I have something to think about. After waiting outside for nearly an hour, Medusa did not call the two of them in, although there were frequent noisy voices inside, indicating that the matter was still being dealt with inside, until Yunshu leaned against the entrance of the temple and was about to fall asleep. Come in. Medusa's voice rang in Yunshu's ear, and he became energetic in an instant, after being in a daze. It's done, Yunshu said furtively, lying on the door towards the inside. Okay. Great, Xiaodi, you are finally free, Yunshu said excitedly, looking at Kadai, who was already excited and about to cry. As long as her identity as a traitor is revoked, Kadai will be truly free, and she can return to the snake race to visit her sister at any time. Let's go, let's see what happens next. Yunshu calmed down, and the next thing was about the two of them. To shut up all the snake people, this battle is estimated to take a long time. After all, there are at least tens of thousands of snake people, and even if only half of them are fighting type, thousands of battles will be fought. After all, apart from Queen Medusa, it is impossible for any snake person to agree with Yunshu and Kadai to be together. Human, you said that you want to challenge all the masters of our snake human race? The elder's tone was obviously not as full of air as Yunshu had overheard before, and he should have been irritated by Medusa's tough attitude. No. It's not me who challenges me, but the snake man who disagrees with me, Yunshu said lightly. HMPH. What an arrogant guy. Well, I'd like to see who you, a mere human with a 9-level Dao key, can beat. The elder said disdainfully, looking at Yunshu's strength. Let's go out. Today I will recall all the clansmen, and it will officially start tomorrow. Medusa said, looking at Yunshu and Kadai beside her. Watching several people walk out of the temple slowly, the elders were very dissatisfied with Medusa's decision, but there was nothing they could do. After all, she was the queen, and she was the one who led the snake people. After the few people left, a stern look flashed in the elder's eyes, and then he murmured, the family rules cannot be broken. Human, you will live here tonight. Medusa led Yunshu to a place that looked like a utility room. Damn it, did you make a mistake? I'm your sister's man anyway, so you let me live in this place. Yunshu looked at the messy room in front of him. Can people live in this place? Sister. How can I let Xiaoshu sleep here? Kadai also came to defend Yunshu. Forget it, I'll go home and sleep. Yunshu waved his hands and said helplessly. After all, Katie has returned to her clan to reunite with her sister, and she will definitely sleep with Medusa tonight. Yunshu can't also get in and sleep with the three of them. Just sleep for one night. That's fine. Katie nodded and said, at least she won't be excluded by her clansmen. Medusa on the side had a look of surprise when she heard the conversation between the two. This guy's planning to go home. Where is his home? Then, it's getting late, so I won't disturb your sister's reunion. Bye. After Yunshu finished speaking, the space in front of him suddenly twisted into a whirlpool and sucked him in. What? Tear space. Daozun strong. Medusa said in shock, having never seen such a scene before. End of this chapter. Chapter 139. Tearing the space? It's not that exaggerated, sister. This is Zyroshu's innate ability, divine power, which can open up a world in his own eyes. The vortex just transported himself to the world in his eyes. Oh, by the way, Zyroshu's divine power can also be teleported over long distances. Kaidai didn't treat her sister as an outsider and directly told Queen Medusa about Yunshu's divine power. Opening up the world is easy to say, my silly sister. Do you know how terrifying this kind of power is? Just tell me about this kind of power. Don't let it out. Medusa touched Kaida's head and smiled dryly, said in one voice. Ah. So powerful. Kaidai hurriedly covered her mouth. What a terrifying guy. Medusa thought to herself as she looked at the place where Yunshu disappeared. She only now knew what was going on with his fearless appearance. Shenwei, the power of God. Axie. This high-ranking queen really makes people feel uncomfortable. When I have a chance in the future, I must train it. Back in the Shenwei space, Yunshu no longer has to pretend anymore. Before, it was because she was beside Katie. At least Yunshu couldn't make her aware of her displeasure with Medusa. Speaking of which, there are still more than 20 years before the start of the story. Should I also form a sect organization for fun? Yunshu thought to himself, seeing Medusa as a queen. Yunshu was also a little envious. Why don't you become a suzerain yourself? Anyway, that old guy from the Misty Cloud sect was no more than a Dao emperor after more than years, and he was promoted to the Dao sect only by relying on the Soul Palace. With Yunshu's current strength, he must be invincible in the Jayamar Empire. 20 years later, maybe Yunshu can still find Ziro Yan or other supporting characters in his sect. Yes. Thinking of this, Yunshu became a little excited. He can start preparing after the matter of the snake human race is settled, surpassing the Misty Cloud sect and becoming the largest sect in the Jayamar Empire. As for whether this treasure hunting mouse is willing to join him, this Yunshu is not very worried because he still has the unsolvable pupil technique of other gods. This kind of bug ability to modify other people's will was not used by Yunshu before because it was unnecessary. After all, he has never encountered anything that made him helpless. But forming a sect is more important. You must use the people you trust the most, and as long as the will of the treasure hunter has been modified, it will definitely obey Yunshu, so you can rest assured. Okay, it's time to rest. There is still a tough battle to fight tomorrow. Yunshu stopped crooked at this thought, took out the forget sorrow grass, and gave it to himself, fell directly on the bed and passed out. The Shenwei space is absolutely safe. That's why Yunshu didn't hesitate to use the forget sorrow grass to fall asleep. The next day, Yunshu came to the snake tribe early in the morning, but there was a little problem with this location. Since the mark of divine power was applied to Katie, Yunshu directly appeared beside Katie's bed, and there was no problem in appearing in front of the bed. But the problem was that Katie slept with Queen Medusa last night. So as soon as Yunshu came out, he saw such a beautiful scene. Two beautiful snakes were entangled with each other, and they were not wearing any clothes. Sin. Yunli immediately ran out of the room, but was still discovered by Queen Medusa. This bastard. Medusa said angrily, looking at the direction in which Yunshu ran out. No one has seen her naked for so long. She didn't expect to be seen by a human male this time up. Sister, what's the matter? Kaidai woke up in a daze at this time and asked suspiciously as she looked at the angry Medusa. It's okay. It's time for us to get up. Medusa looked at the butterfly and smiled fondly. Wow. It's really a feast for the eyes. At this time, Yunshu was floating above the snake tribe. The scene of seeing Medusa and KD just now really satisfied Yunshu's fantasies about all women, but it's a pity. The snake tail on the lower body is bad. A fiery red arrow crossed in front of Yunshu. It seems that we are ready. Yunshu narrowed his eyes because he was afraid that the snake man would trouble him in advance, so he flew a little high. Medusa had no choice but to use an arrow to notify him. Hello. I'm back again. Yunshu descended to the ground and greeted the two of them. Let's go. Everything is ready. Medusa looked at Yunshu coldly and said, although she was very upset, she still had to hold back for the sake of her sister. Afterwards, Yunshu followed Medusa and Kadai to the training ground of the snake tribe, where countless snake tribe warriors had been waiting for a long time, and they all disagreed with Kadai and Yunshu, a human being. You already know the rules, right? As long as you can defeat me, you can kill or cut as you please. But, if you lose, please keep your mouth shut from now on, otherwise. There was a sneer at the corner of his mouth. Turning on the kaleidoscope Sharingan, a golden giant with a height of more than meters appeared on the training ground of the snake people in an instant. The huge body has already filled the entire training ground with just 2 feet. The golden giant stretched out his hands, chakra gathered in it, and the 2 golden swords quickly took shape. Yunshu swung fiercely at the territory outside the Snake Man tribe, and the powerful sword energy instantly cut out the desert next to the Snake Man territory. There are 2 canyons tens of meters deep. This is what will happen to him. This guy. Medusa clenched her fists tightly as she watched Yunshu's terrifying blow. Even she was not sure about the next blow. If she didn't avoid it, she would definitely die. And she didn't feel the slightest bit of grudge from that blow just now. That is to say, that sword ki was struck by Yunshu with pure strength. The snake people on the field were stunned, not to mention the sword energy. They might not even be able to beat the golden giant in front of them. The effect is good. There should be no snake people who dare to come up to challenge now. Yunshu thought to himself. The purpose of this battle is not for the ethnic group, and Yunshu sees through this point before he hesitates to use this super energy consuming big move to deter. If the clansmen face the danger of life and death, then this group of snake people will definitely risk their lives to challenge Yunshu, but it doesn't matter to them whether they win or lose now. After all, there will be no reward for winning the queen to them. Even if they lose, they will not be compensated. And they who have already experienced the power of Yunshu can do nothing but be beaten at this time. They might as well not play and save a severe beating. End of this chapter. Chapter 140. Are you going to challenge me? Heh. It seems that no one dares to come up to challenge. Yunshu showed a smile on his lips. It was much easier this way, just when he put away Susanoo and was about to end. Stop. Yunshu was just about to leave when a cold voice sounded, and a person Yunshu could not have expected fell in front of him. You want to challenge me? Yunshu looked at Queen Medusa in front of her in surprise. As the queen of the snake human clan, of course I have to take the lead in expressing my opinion. Who made you stun all the clansmen at the beginning? Medusa's voice became more and more resentful as she went to the back. After the golden giant who came to frighten the snake man, she didn't dare to be so arrogant in front of Yunshu. As the queen of the snake human race, if she agrees to Yunshu on this matter, won't it make the tribe think that she has surrendered to humans? So now she can only lead by example and challenge Yunshu by setting an example. Otherwise, there will definitely be conflicts within the snake human race. Not every ethnic group is so unified. Even a proud race like the mighty Unyielding will have peacemakers like Itachi and Shizu. There will definitely be some in the snake human race. The snake people think that the queen has succumbed to humans, and by then the whole snake people will definitely be divided. And Medusa's dream is to lead the tribe out of the desperate situation, trapped in the desert. At this time, internal struggles and divisions will definitely be wiped out by humans. That's why you plan to be defeated by me, and let your clansmen see that it's not you who surrender to me, but the entire snake human clan can't resist my power at all. Yunshu said with a smile. HMPH. It's still unknown who will win. How do you know that you will definitely win? Medusa said coldly, as if she didn't like Yunshu's tone of voice. I just like how confident you are. When the time comes to defeat you, it will definitely give you a sense of accomplishment and conquest. Looking at Medusa's appearance, Yunshu thought to himself, come on. Yunshu didn't continue talking nonsense. He hooked his fingers and said to Medusa. A red bow and arrow appeared in Medusa's hand. When she pulled the bowstring, 3 fiery red arrows appeared on the bow. Call out. Yunshu just stood there without moving. 3 bows and arrows instantly penetrated Yunshu's body and stuck on the wall behind him. Remnant image? No. His body is right there. Medusa frowned when she saw that the arrow missed. The arrow clearly hit Yunshu, but it penetrated through Yunshu's body. And Yunshu's body has obviously not moved. Why didn't it hit? The virtualization of Shenwei is not to directly transmit the whole body to a different space, leaving a phantom outside, but to transmit the contacted part to a different space when there is external contact. Generally speaking, virtualization is a passive ability. It needs to be attacked, or Yunshu actively contacts the entity to take effect. That is to say, no matter how Medusa perceives it, Yunshu's body still stands here without moving. The 3 arrows just sent the part where Yunshu and the arrow came into contact with to a different space. After the arrow penetrated Yunshu, Yunshu's body returned to normal, and Medusa couldn't perceive it at all. Unless Medusa and Yunshu fight in close quarters, it is possible to detect Yunshu's virtualization ability by relying on actual combat like Minato, but Yunshu who has Sharingan in melee combat is even more worthy of Medusa. What? Don't dare to go up. Yunshu looked at Medusa who was stunned, and the corners of her mouth slightly raised. Then I won't be polite. Now that Medusa had used her weapon, Yunshu also took out the interpreter and rushed towards Medusa. It's that strange sword again. Medusa stared at the interpreter in Yunshu's hand. When Yunshu used this sword to attack him last time, the special energy attached to the sword almost hurt her. If it wasn't for the fact that he was wearing an important armor at that time, he might have been stabbed by Yunshu. Seeing Yunshu rushing towards her, Medusa was unambiguous, opened her bow and set up an arrow, and 3 more arrows shot at Yunshu who was running. Yunshu looked at the flying arrow, and the golden 3-hook jade in his eyes twirled wildly, reducing the flying speed of the arrow infinitely in his eyes, and then easily dodged it. Thunder Dungeon. The interpreter in Yunshu's hand was instantly covered with lightning. This is the Thunder Dungeon ninjutsu he developed, based on Sasuke's Chidori style. In order to let others say that he plagiarized, Yunshu simply didn't name it. The interpreter is full of electric current. If it is touched, it will definitely be paralyzed. Isn't that kind of blue energy? Medusa frowned. Yunshu's attack once again made him feel puzzled. Why this guy has so many moves? Although somewhat puzzled, she still replaced the longbow in her hand with 2 double swords to meet Yunshu's attack. Clang! Exclamation mark. Medusa crossed her swords and blocked Yunshu's sword. Heyo fireball. Looking at the peerless face in front of him who was less than a foot away from him, Yunshu spewed out a big fireball without the slightest hesitation. Boom! Exclamation mark. The fireball hit something, and there was a huge explosion. Flames spit out of your mouth. Don't be a monster. A lazy voice sounded. The smoke gradually dispersed, and Medusa slowly appeared in front of Yunshu. Is it strange? Yunshu appeared in front of Medusa in an instant, and the distance between the two was less than 1 foot. Yunshu was stunned when he saw this shockingly beautiful and alluring face at close range. Medusa saw the right moment and slashed at Yunshu's neck with 2 swords in her hand. Only then did Yunshu realize it and immediately entered the blurred state. It's this weird ability again. Medusa frowned as she looked at the twin swords across Yunshu's neck. What the hell was this freaking thing? Want to know? Yunshu asked with a mysterious smile. Medusa didn't answer, but seeing her puzzled look, she definitely wanted to know. I won't tell you. Yunshu grinned and continued to use the remaining flash to appear in front of Medusa. Big breakthrough. Again. Medusa exclaimed looking at Yunshu's swollen mouth in surprise, and then appeared 5 meters away from Yunshu in a flash. But this time, what spewed out from Yunshu's mouth was no longer flames, but a huge gust of wind. Although the big breakthrough didn't have any offensive power, it covered a very large area. Not only did Medusa's eyes be blinded by the blowing, but even many snake people in the audience behind were unable to stand still due to the strong wind. After the gust of wind passed, Medusa looked at Yunshu with an increasingly strange expression. What was in his mouth? He just breathed fire, but he could still spit out such a huge wind in one breath. Do you want to try the water again? A smile appeared on the corner of Yunshu's mouth. End of this chapter. Chapter 141 Heaven and Earth 3 Absolute Fire. Do you want to try the water again? Yunshu looked at Medusa and smiled slightly, and by looking at her expression, one could tell what she was thinking. Okay, Medusa said as if remembering something, with the corner of her mouth raised. Then, explosive water and waves. This technique still needs to consume a little bit of mana, so Yunshu still pinched a seal. Puff. 1 minute later, it happened that the arena of the snake tribe was filled with the water spit out by Yunshu, forming a small lake. Your strength is indeed very strong, but you don't seem to have enough brains. Queen Medusa floated on the water and looked at Yunshu with her mouth covered and chuckled. Really? Yunshu pretended to be puzzled and said, don't you know that the snake man is much faster in the water than in the desert? Medusa rushed up immediately after speaking. As creatures with a cold nature, snake people are not suitable for living in the desert, and naturally they can't show their true strength in the desert. But now it is different. Yunshu created a really suitable for Medusa. On the battlefield, Medusa's strength can definitely be brought into full play now. Do you like being in the water? Thunder Snake. Yunshu put his hands in the water and released countless small thunder snakes. What? Medusa slammed on the brakes and flew into the air in an instant. Medusa looked down and saw that the entire surface of the water, including the water, was covered with lightning. If she hadn't reacted quickly enough, she would have been hit by the lightning released by Yunshu just at that moment. What's the matter? Don't you like being in the water? Come down. Yunshu floated on the water and shouted at Medusa above her head. Medusa, you have seen water, fire, wind, and thunder. Why don't you try soil again? Yunshu looked at Medusa and said with a smile. This guy. Medusa clenched her fists tightly. Although she was the emperor of fighting, she couldn't use her full strength when fighting Yunshu. Yunshu's moves didn't do much damage, but she was able to fight with every move. She was in a panic. The attack temperature of the flame is not high enough to burn the body, but if you don't dodge it, your clothes will be burned, and your body will be blackened. Even if there is a battle armor blocking the wind attack, the sight will be blocked by the chaotics and rolled up by the wind. There is thunder and lightning, although this lightning does not seem to cause much damage, but it will paralyze the body, and he hit himself in the face before he started blowing. Earth Dragon Bullet Technique. Yunshu stood on the surface of the water and clapped his hands together. A dragon formed of mud suddenly drilled out of the water, staring up at Queen Medusa not far away. Guess what this earth dragon does? Yunshu smiled sweetly. HMPH. Medusa snorted coldly, took out her previous bow and arrow, and pointed it at the earth dragon behind Yunshu. Launch. Yunshu also ordered, after looking at the bow that Medusa took out. Countless mud bombs spewed out from the mouth of the earth dragon, shooting towards Queen Medusa not far away. Damn guy. Medusa finally couldn't hold back seeing the mud bomb sprayed out of the earth dragon's mouth. Countless red arrows were shot at Yunshu, who was controlling the earth dragon. This guy was simply insulting her. He actually shot dirt at her. You're pretty smart. You know you need to deal with the person who released the skill. But this time you're out of luck. This earth dragon will continue to attack, even if I don't control it. Yunshu dodged the arrow's arrow. Without Yunshu's control, the earth dragon is still spraying mud bombs non-stop. As long as Yunshu does not cancel this spell, the earth dragon will not stop, unless the earth dragon is scattered. Okay, now the real battle will begin. Yunshu waved his hand, and the earth dragon dissipated into the water. Medusa also finally revoked her defensive vindictive shield. Being hit by such a low-level thing is simply an insult to her queen status, so she had to use her vindictive energy to defend against such a powerless attack. It's like throwing shit at others during a fight. Although it doesn't hurt, and it doesn't hurt you, but it's disgusting. It smells. It's impossible not to avoid it. Medusa is speechless. This man's bad taste is simply invincible, like a child. Medusa didn't know, but Yunshu's physical age was just that of a 13-year-old child. Yunshu put away the interpreter and took out his Wuhan Wangyoucao sword. Start now. Let's start the real battle. Yunshu put away that laughing expression and became serious. The power of Vulcan. True fire of samadhi. Yunshu summoned the true fire of samadhi, one of the 3 absolute fires in the world, controlled by the power of Vulcan. Immediately, Yunshu's body was already burning with raging flames on Wangyoucao's sword, and the power of this flame far surpassed the powerful fireball technique Yunshu used before. Medusa couldn't help frowning when she felt the terrifying high temperature. The cold-natured snake human race instinctively rejected the terrifying high temperature, but she was in a battle after all, so she couldn't just admit defeat. Heavenly fire? Medusa looked at Yunshu and said doubtfully. No, but it's almost there. Yunshu said lightly. Although the 3 flames of the heaven and earth 3 absolute fires are not as good as some strange fires, they are targeted after all, and this is just his soul skill. There is no source of fire for him to absorb. If it was a real flame, he would still have to work so hard to subdue the strange fire, the heavenly fire of the fairy world, the real fire of samadhi, and the yin fire of the underworld. Which one doesn't seem to be incomparably tall, and maybe it can directly upgrade Fenju to a heaven level skill. Well, it's a pity that this is not a real flame. Since Wangyoucao's sword doesn't have sword skills in its soul skills, Yunshu only used simple moves to attack, but even so, Medusa was defeated steadily. After all, this kind of flame restrained her too much. The queen is about to lose. The flames on that human body are terrifying. You can feel the terrifying high temperature just by standing so far below. Damn it. You actually use flames to suppress the queen. If you have the ability to fight it openly. Quite a few snake people shouted angrily when they saw Yunshu bullying their queen so much. Shut up. Medusa scolded coldly. It's fine for these guys to have no guts to challenge Yunshu, and they still come to make trouble at such a critical moment. Yunshu, who was suppressing Medusa, suddenly felt a little flustered. Could she be holding back her big move? Yunshu looked at the retreating queen who was beaten by him in surprise. What Yunshu didn't know was that Medusa on the opposite side also suddenly felt a bad feeling at this time, as if something bad would happen later. Little butterfly. Younger sister. The 2 of them exclaimed at the same time, and then looked down to where the butterfly was. End of this chapter. Chapter 142. Old fellow. You are courting death. Yunshu immediately dropped the Medusa in front of him and flew down at full speed. Behind Katie, the snake elder who was in the temple before was quietly touching Katie's back with a long knife. Xiaodi. Be careful. Sister. Be careful. Yunshu and Medusa were very anxious and shouted to the bottom at the same time, hoping that the butterfly could react and avoid the sneak attack behind them. HMPH. Clan rules can't be broken. Snake people can only have one queen Medusa. The old man yelled crazily and then stabbed the big knife in his hand. Old man. How dare you? Yunshu looked at the dead old man and wished he could get his skin cramped on the spot. Laugh. Exclamation mark. Little butterfly. Seeing this scene, Yunshu's eyes were shattered and anger rushed into his heart, and he opened Liu Gaoyu's reincarnation eyes instantly. Huo Lan condescends. Yunshu instantly cut off the space around the old snake man, and then a burst of blue flames popped out into the space, enclosed by Huo Lan condescending. Ah. The cyan flame instantly burned the crazy old snake man to nothing. Heavenly fire. Medusa, who was following closely behind, shrank her pupils when she saw this scene. This terrifying burning speed burned an elder with the strength of a fighting king in less than a second. There is nothing left. What else can it be if it is not a strange fire? Xiaodi. Yunshu came to the ground and hurriedly ran over to hug Katie. The long knife pierced through the heart, and half of the dead old man's arm was still hanging on the handle. Little tree, sister. Stop talking. I'll take out the knife. Yunshu sent the butterfly to Medusa's hand and asked her to hug the butterfly tightly while he started to take out the long knife with Shenmue. Clang. Yunshu threw the drawn long knife aside and began to use the palm immortal technique to heal Katie's wound. Little tree. Katie stretched out her hand and gently stroked Yunshu's face. The heart has been pierced. Medusa couldn't stop crying when she saw the wound on Katie's chest. Shut up. Yunshu angrily scolded Medusa and then kept outputting chakra to accelerate cell division. You. Medusa stared at Yunshu with her beautiful eyes, as if she wanted to say something, but she fell silent after seeing the unconscious butterfly lying in her arms. Have a good sleep. It will be fine when you wake up. Yunshu watched KD quietly and patted her head and said softly. After a while, the butterfly lost her breath. But the palm celestial art in her hand still didn't stop until 10 minutes later, her body was repaired by Yunshu. Take me to a secret place. Yunshu said coldly. What on earth do you want to do? Medusa looked at Yunshu with a complicated expression as she picked up Kaida's corpse. Yunshu didn't answer, but looked coldly at the queen in front of her. If she hadn't completed the mission yesterday, Kaida wouldn't have been assassinated by that lunatic. Go to my palace. Medusa said sadly. She also knew that her sister was assassinated by the elders because of her own reasons, and the man in front of her probably hated her to death at this moment. Medusa dispersed the nearby snake men and let them return to their respective positions, then took Yunshu to her room. What are you going to do? Medusa asked puzzledly as she watched Yunshu place the butterfly on her bed, and her hands began to seal. Outer Deo reincarnation born. Yunshu murmured silently in his heart, and a green energy instantly enveloped the colorful butterfly on the bed, and the chakra, soul power and battle energy in Yunshu's body were rapidly disappearing. What are you doing? Medusa said in a panic, feeling the fighting spirit crazily passing through the body of the person in front of her. Resurrect her. Yunshu said calmly without any nonsense. The green energy enveloping the butterfly is increasing, but the butterfly shows no sign of waking up, and Yunshu can only continue to output energy. Yunshu's hair also rapidly turns white from the root of the hair. Reincarnation is born. He began to continue to extract the vitality of the cloud tree until all the hair turned dry and white. At this time, the dragon-shaped tattoo that has been hidden behind Yunshu seems to be unable to sit still. Yunshu has already passed out due to the loss of too much vitality. If this continues, Yunshu will be drained of vitality and die. At this moment, a dragon chant resounded through the sky. Dragon. How is that possible? Medusa standing aside said in shock when she saw the phantom of the green dragon appearing on Yunshu and the sound of the dragon's chant. It's no wonder that only the 9th level Dao Ki is so powerful. If he is a descendant of the Taixu ancient dragon clan, that would make sense. Medusa looked at the dragon-shaped phantom on Yunshu with a complicated expression. Said, I didn't expect that the person in front of me was actually a monster like her, and he was also the king of monsters. Taixu Gilang is a strange beast that existed in ancient times, and it is the most powerful race among Warcraft. From this point of view, it is no surprise that Yunshu's 9-level Dao Ki can beat her, the Dao Huang, and she has a different fire in the United States. Dasha seems to be normal, according to what KD said about the divine power to open up the world. Taixu Gilang originally lived in the empty space outside the Dao Ki continent, so that should be the meaning. If Yunshu was still awake at this time, he would definitely say, you think too much. At this time, the dragon-shaped phantom seemed to come alive. It glanced at Medusa at the side, and then opened its mouth wide. Medusa was sucked into Yunshu's body. The moment it touched Yunshu's body, Medusa the energy in Usher's body was continuously flowing into Yunshu's body like a blocked river had found a vent, and Yunshu's body was like a glutton at this moment, frantically absorbing the essence flowing from Medusa's body. Pure vindictiveness. In just a moment, Medusa fainted from weakness. Reincarnation is inherently a technique that cannot be stopped once activated until the target is revived or the caster is drained. With the blessing of Medusa's energy, Samsara began to continue to work, and the huge life energy began to be instilled into Kaida's body, adding what he had absorbed before. Kaida's body began to change, and her face gradually became rosy. The battle ki in the body is also gradually recovering, and the strength of one is still increasing, after returning to the level of the fighting emperor, and finally gradually stays at the level of the 7-star fighting emperor. This strength is already stronger than Medusa in this time period. After the skyrocketing strength stopped, the green life force naturally produced by reincarnation also gradually disappeared. Part of it entered the body of the butterfly, and part of it dissipated in the air. Seeing that Samsara naturally no longer draws energy, the dragon-shaped phantom gradually turned into a burst of white light and returned to the back of Yunshu again. However, Yunshu's body has not returned to its original state. The dry white hair and loose and wrinkled skin indicate that Yunshu's life is coming to an end. I haven't written about life and death, so let's just read it carefully. End of this chapter. If you're listening to this novel on a channel other than Fanfic World, it means they downloaded and uploaded it without effort. We cordially invite you to visit our channel, Mundo Fanfic Novelos. There you'll find the original version of this story and you can explore many other novels of various genres. We're waiting for you to immerse yourself in a world of incredible novels. Chapter 143 Gluttony. Douluo World, Heaven Dao City. Inside an ordinary house. Kyankan, something happened to the young master. Go and see what's going on. A voice suddenly sounded in the ear of the old man who was sitting in the room drinking tea. Yes, master. The old man replied respectfully, then disappeared into the room in an instant, and appeared in the new Shrek Academy. Huh? Where did the young master go? The old man's consciousness scanned the entire Shrek Academy in an instant, but he didn't find any trace of the young master in his mouth. It's too bad. It won't disappear suddenly like the previous few times. The old man's heart tightened. Although the young master would become stronger every time he disappeared and returned, he couldn't protect the young master at all in this situation. Just like now, the young master has already disappeared. When something happened, he couldn't rush to the young master's side. Fight the world. Sister. What happened to Xiaoshu? Why did it become like this? KD looked at Yunshu who was lying on the bed dying, and said with tears all over her face. Yunshu's appearance has not recovered, and he still looks old. Although there is still a trace of breath, he can't wake up no matter what. Don't you remember what happened before? Medusa asked doubtfully, looking at her sister who was crying in front of her. What happened before? I only remember your battle, and then I seemed to be very sleepy and fell asleep. KD asked suspiciously. It's okay, I don't know what happened to him. Medusa decided to hide this matter for KD. After all, no one would feel good if she just died. How could this be? KD said painfully, while holding Yunshu's withered hand. Medusa's current mood is also extremely complicated. Knowing that Yunshu is also a monster, and that she is a top level monster, her feelings towards Yunshu have also undergone slight changes. At least she does not have the disgusting feeling towards humans before. However, Yunshu's identity made Medusa a little worried. Yunshu, who only had 9 levels of fighting spirit, had mastered so many powerful fighting skills, different fires, and forbidden techniques that could resurrect people. His identity was obviously unusual, and it might even be Patriarch's son or something. If Yunshu's current state was known to his clan, would he just come over with a knife and slaughter their snake clan? After all, Yunshu looks like he came out to practice. Now that this kind of problem occurs, the snake people may be in trouble. Next, Medusa told KD Yunshu's true identity, that it was not a human being, but an ancient monster of the Taitsugilan family. What? Isn't Xiaoshu a human being? But he looks like this. KD looked at Yunshu's human body. Do you still remember the transformation pill? Since you are in such a powerful family, you can get the transformation pill casually. Medusa said slowly, so many things made sense. Since it is such a powerful race, there must be 8th rank or even 9th rank alchemists in the family, so it is not easy to refine a 7th rank transformation pill. Sister, take it. Medusa took out the transformation pill and put it in KD's hand. Sister, why? KD didn't understand. As long as she took it, she could transform into a human form and obtain the incomparable cultivation talent of human beings. I'll leave it to you. I've already figured out how to go. Medusa looked at her sister and said softly. She thought of this when she saw that Yunshu possessed a strange fire. Her accompanying soul was a 6th order magical beast, the purple Yaoan snake. If the chance is enough, it can stimulate the weak blood in it and evolve into their ancient ancestors. Medusa just wants to use the power of the strange fire in Yunshu's body to break through the boundary. Although this method is a bit risky, if it is the abnormal fire that has been subdued is relatively safe. Okay, then I'll use it when Xiaoshu wakes up. KD looked at Yunshu on the bed with pain in her eyes. She knew that the boy in front of her was only about 12 years old, but now she turned into this appearance. I'm going to see if there are any natural treasures in the clan that can restore vitality or increase lifespan. If there is one, I will give it to him, said Perfect Usher, and left her room, facing the clan a place to store treasures. Where is this place? Looking at the gray space in front of him, Yunshu murmured, "Hey, what was I doing before?" Yunshu scratched his head suddenly. He couldn't remember how he appeared in this place. "Is anyone there?" Yunshu shouted, standing in this empty space. "Anyone there? Person?" However, only his own echo answered him. What a fool. Suddenly a helpless voice sounded in Yunshu's ear. "Who?" Yunshu frowned, but no one appeared, as if the voice was directly conveyed to Yunshu's mind. "Me." The voice sounded again. "Me." Yunshu said in surprise. "Yes, that's you." The voice continued. "What the hell?" Yunshu raised his eyebrows. Was the other party playing tongue twisters with him? Stupid. "I'm you." This was a tone that Yunshu was extremely familiar with. "This is my own voice," Yunshu said in shock. "I'm you, and you are me," the other party said in Yunshu's tone and voice. "I'm not sleeping, stupid." Yunshu pinched his thigh. "Hiss, it hurts. It's not a dream. Okay. I won't quarrel with you anymore. You are in serious trouble this time. Do you know that?" The voice suddenly became very serious. "It's a big trouble. What do you mean?" Yunshu was a little confused. He didn't know what he had done, and he appeared here. His current memory is still stuck in the time when he first entered the Douluo world. "Look for yourself." After the voice finished speaking, a screen suddenly appeared in front of Yunshu, which showed what Yunshu had experienced since he came to Douluo world. "I'm not dead, am I?" Seeing the last scene, when he was using reincarnation for KD, Yunshu said with some difficulty. "It stands to reason that resurrecting only one person shouldn't consume so much. It's not far from death. Teoti has always been a symbol of greed, and it can only get in and out. I didn't expect you to be such a weirdo, and you dare to export your vitality." "Teoti? What Teoti?" Yunshu looked confused. Why did he get involved with Teoti again? "You." "Yes. Gluttonous. Tai. The descendant. Generation. Do you know? What the hell? Are you kidding me?" Yunshu was even more confused. "Remember that dream you had in the world of Demon Slayer, Blade of Demon Slayer? Remember?" "What's the matter?" Yunshu suddenly had a bad feeling in his heart. "That's right. It's exactly what you think." The voice seemed to know what Yunshu was thinking, and said lightly, "You mean that picture is real? Those two people are my parents?" Yunshu said in disbelief. The suspended world set before was wrong. It should be that the flow of time has been slowed down countless times compared to the protagonist, but the time of this world itself will not change. End of this chapter. Chapter 144 Recovery. "You mean that picture is real? Those two people are my parents?" Yunshu said in disbelief. "That's right. When you were born, the concentration of the gluttonous blood was not enough to awaken, so your parents threw you to the lower realm, planning to take you back to the upper realm after you successfully awakened the gluttonous blood. Who the hell are you?" Yunshu suddenly had a bad feeling in his heart. "Don't you understand? I'm you. You're going to die if you speak clearly." Yunshu's face darkened, and the guy spoke in a daze. Okay, remember how you traveled through time?" said the voice that claimed to be myself. "I don't know." Yunshu spread his hands and said, It's the same as I thought. Let me explain to you. First of all, I'm Yunshu Benshu, and you are the gluttonous Benti who has all my memories and living habits." "What? Are you kidding me?" Yunshu looked dazed. "How did he become gluttonous? Question mark. Okay. I heard that when I just crossed over. I didn't expect to cross directly into the upper realm. Nima's upper realm is almost full of super god level powers. I easily discovered that my soul is hidden in your body. Wait. What is the upper bound?" Yunshu found that this Yunshu seemed to know more than himself. "You will know this later. Don't interrupt me. After your father discovered me in your body, when he was about to erase me, he found that my soul was already eroding your soul. Your father found out, if you just destroy me directly like this, it will cause damage to your soul. So I used a super powerful magic weapon to turn back the part of my soul that I eroded you. This is why I have your memory?" Yunshu said speechlessly. "The plot is too bloody. Then my soul was wiped out. Then who is talking now?" Yunshu raised his eyebrows. "You, didn't I say it? I only exist in your memory, and this is your consciousness space. By the way, you haven't come in since you grew up. Am I schizophrenic? Yunshu still hasn't figured out what happened. How should I put it? The professional term should be called a parallel consciousness individual. Don't worry, we are consciousnesses born from the same soul, and you don't have to worry about me harming you. I will disappear after you go out. It's all because you killed yourself, and almost killed yourself. But don't worry, your body can probably maintain this state for about 100 days. If you take in high energy substances within 100 days, you can recover slowly. You know Teoti, as long as you eat, it doesn't matter whether it's food or pills, celestial grasses, battle key, etc. As long as you ingest it, you can recover. So I can still save it. Yunshu finally heard the good news. Okay, is there anything else you want to know? If not, I'm going to disappear. My existence is less than 5 minutes left. Stop. Don't ask about your parents and the upper world. As long as you say these things, they will be sensed. Yunshu was just about to ask about his parents. Since I'm Teoti, do I have any special abilities? Yunshu looked forward to gaining some powerful abilities. Yes, eat. Eating is considered a special ability. Yunshu almost spat out a mouthful of old blood. You can become stronger by eating. Of course, this ability will have little effect on you now. After all, your gluttonous blood has not yet awakened. Eating can only speed up your body's recovery speed at best. Then I don't have any other special abilities? Yunshu suddenly felt a little overwhelmed. You haven't awakened the Teoti's blood, and you still want to have some special ability. Okay, then how can I awaken the bloodline? Yunshu asked the last question he wanted to know. Swallow the remaining energy of a powerful creature like the elemental dragon, like in the eyes of Binghuo Yangai last time. Elemental dragon? You mean the dragon tattoo on my back? Yunshu said in surprise. He really didn't know it was an elemental dragon. The tattoo is formed by the fusion of the remaining energies of 2 elemental dragons. It is swallowed by your body after you lose consciousness. Although I don't know why it turned into a green dragon tattoo, it is definitely not harmful to you. It has already been in the dark. I have helped you many times, but you have never found out. Is that so? Yunshu didn't expect this tattoo to be helpful to him. He always thought that this thing could only be used by the underworld. Okay, my time is over. Take care of yourself. Bye bye. Yunshu didn't know what to say, so he could only say goodbye to himself as a farewell. I don't know how long it's been outside alone in this ghostly place. Yunshu lay blankly in this dark space of consciousness. Huh. Got energy intake? Yunshu, who was lying in the space of consciousness, suddenly felt a little energy entering his body, but this energy couldn't restore him at all, so he could only expect Katie and the others to continue feeding him. Sister, how is it? In the snake tribe, it has been nearly a month since the outside world. During this month, Kadai has been guarding Yunshu's side, while Medusa is constantly looking for the natural treasures that can be restored for Yunshu. She is worried that Yunshu's people will take revenge, so during this period, she has been doing her best to take care of Yunshu with Kadai, for fear of neglecting him. I've collected some pills and herbs, but how do I give them to him? Medusa looked at Kadai, then at Yunshu. Speaking of this, a blush appeared on Kadai Kyo's face. They had already tried to use herbs on Yunshu once before, but found that the pills were okay, and they usually melted in the mouth, but the herbs were not good. Butterfly crushed the one that she personally fed to Yunshu. Let's stay the same. Sister, you go out first. Kadai was also embarrassed to give Yunshu medicine in front of her sister, so she pushed Medusa out. Alas, Medusa didn't tease Kadai when she saw this, but showed a worried expression. Because she wasn't sure whether these elixirs and herbs could restore Yunshu, they just held such a small hope. Elder sister, Medusa, who was guarding outside, suddenly heard the cry of a colorful butterfly coming from inside. What's wrong? Medusa hurried in. Sister, look at Zyoshu's body. Kadai fed all the herbs to Yunshu and found that Yunshu's body gradually began to fill up. It works. Medusa and Kadai looked at each other in the same way. There will be no bloody plots. This Yunshu's consciousness, you just treat it as a tool I made to introduce the protagonist's identity, and it will never appear again in the future. End of this chapter. Chapter 145 Evolution. Great. Elder sister, are there any more herbs? K-Dai said excitedly, looking at Yunshu, whose body was gradually recovering. At this time, Yunshu, who was trapped in the consciousness space, realized that he was able to control part of his consciousness, so he took out all the fairy herbs in his storage space at once, and asked the colorful butterfly to feed him. Before, he didn't dare to eat these fairy grasses, because he was afraid that the effect of the medicine would explode and kill him, but now it's different. The more advanced the fairy grasses, the more help he will have. This is Medusa and KD looked at the dozens of herbs that suddenly appeared on Yunshu. Xiaoshu must have heard what we said, and he must eat all of these. KD ignored the shocked Medusa, picked up a herb, chewed it in her mouth, and then fed it to her. Cloud Tree lying on the bed. With the reduction of the grass jelly, Yunshu's complexion changed from withered and yellow to healthier and healthier. After taking all the grass jelly, Yunshu's entire body had returned to its previous healthy appearance. But Yunshu hadn't woken up yet, but the body of KD beside him had a mutation. Sister, it's so hot. KD's face turned red, as if she was about to catch fire. Not good. Some of the medicinal herbs you crushed just now must have been absorbed by your body. Now the medicinal effect is working. You must absorb it quickly, otherwise your body will not be able to hold on, and will eventually be suffocated to death by the medicinal power. The reason for the problem that Medusa has already thought of is that Yunshu, as an ancient clan, carries the fairy grass on her body, which is definitely the best in the continent, and although KD didn't eat a single fairy grass just now, she chewed so many, some of the medicinal power of the fairy grass must be absorbed by her body, and the medicinal power of so many top level herbs is definitely not something she, the Dao Huang, can solve. I have to wake this guy up quickly, he is the only one who can save my sister. Medusa felt hard when she saw Yunshu, who was still lying on the bed sleeping, and since she couldn't wake her up, she wanted some stimulation. Medusa took out a dagger and stabbed it at Yunshu's thigh. Lying grass. Who is it? Yunshu was awakened by a sharp pain and cursed. Xiaodai has absorbed too much mixed medicinal power of herbs to feed you. Help her solve it quickly. If something happens to her, I will definitely kill you. Medusa said angrily while looking at Yunshu. The problems that appeared on KD this time were all because of helping Yunshu. Although Yunshu became like this because of KD, 1 yard counts for 1 yard. This is not something that KD can do, but she did it anyway. Yes, that is Yunshu's responsibility. Although she admired Yunshu's strength and identity in her heart, she was still very merciless in her mouth. After all, she was a queen, so she would save face. If you save people, save them. Why are you poking my thigh? If the poke misses, it's used to carry on the family line. Can you afford it? Yunshu felt very sorry for Medusa waking him up with a knife. Unhappy. Hurry up and save people. Medusa said coldly. Compared to Yunshu's identity, her sister's life was more important to her. Understood. Yunshu pouted and came to Keidai's side. I'll help you absorb the power of the medicine, and only leave a little for you to evolve. Yunshu said softly to Keidai. Because of the grass jelly, the butterfly has to evolve even more. After finishing speaking, Yunshu kissed Keidai's red lips and sucked out the excess medicinal power from Keidai's body with a growl kiss. You bastard, you still don't forget to take advantage of this time. Medusa was furious when she saw this scene, pointing at Yunshu and cursing. Shut up. I'm absorbing the excess medicine in her body. Yunshu gave Medusa a middle finger. Sure enough, it is said that dragons are so obscene that even the way of saving people is so obscene. Medusa looked at Yunshu's mouth to absorb energy to save people, feeling very disdainful. Yunshu also heard Medusa's voice, but he didn't pay attention to it, but wondered why Medusa called herself Jackie Chan. Could it be because my dragon tattoo activated again? Yunshu thought to himself. Soon, Yunshu absorbed the medicinal power from Keidai's body into his own body. Okay, give her some space. Xiaodi is about to evolve. Yunshu came to Medusa's side and said lightly. Evolution. Medusa said in shock after hearing this. She never thought that her sister would get a blessing in disguise in order to save Yunshu. Her body has absorbed too much medicinal power, and these chaotic energies rioted in her body, awakening a trace of ancient blood in her body, just like you, except that she is lucky with my elixir and my help. They directly skipped those painful stages and reached the level of evolution. The corners of Yunshu's mouth rose slightly, and the monster souls in the two sisters were of the same kind, both of which were Xiao flame snakes. How do you know these things? Medusa looked at Yunshu curiously and was about to ask him, but then she shut up. After thinking about it, she had forgotten Yunshu's identity. Xiao will probably reach Dalzang if she evolves successfully. By then, you will be the most powerful group in the Jaiamar Empire, but I hope you don't attack the Jaiamar Empire. Just for fun, if there are two fighting sects in the snake human race, the entire Jaiamar Empire might not be able to stop them. After all, the strong fighting sects are so terrifying. At that time, if the Jaiamar Empire is occupied by the snake people, some small places may be directly destroyed, and this may include the place where the Xiao family is located. Impossible. My lifelong dream is to lead the snake people out of the desert. Back then, human beings relied on their strength to force us into this harsh environment. Now that we snake people are strong, we must of course take back the land that once belonged to the snake people. Glory. Medusa looked at Yunshu coldly. Why do you want to help humans? Medusa suddenly looked at Yunshu. It's not about helping humans. It's not like you don't know Xiaoda's character. Unless you, a big sister, force her, it's impossible for her to take the initiative to do something like hurting others, and I will also do it in the next 20 years. I want to do something in the Jaiamar Empire. Even if I don't attack the Jaiamar Empire, they may not let us go. Medusa frowned. I know. Yunshu remembered that it was mentioned in the original book that the Jaiamar Empire sent 3 fighting kings to encircle and suppress the snake race, but they were killed by Medusa and returned with serious injuries. So Yunshu really made it difficult for Medusa like this, but Yunshu didn't want the next plot to change. Some treasures can only be obtained by following the protagonist. There was an accident before. So I have an idea. End of this chapter. Chapter 146. So, I have an idea. Yunshu took Medusa to the top of the snake tribe. Kadai is still evolving, because she is not calcined by different fires, so she is not in much pain, but is constantly absorbing the remaining medicinal power. What? Medusa said, looking at Yunshu with strange fire. I'll help you move the entire snake tribe to my Shenwei. I'll let you out, after finding a suitable place. Yunshu looked at Medusa and said slowly, in this way, the conflict between the two parties can be avoided. If the snake people do not stay on the territory of the Jaiamar Empire, the Jaiamar Empire does not need to have a war with the snake people, and the snake people do not need to spend a single soldier to find them in the cloud tree. Get a good place and move there. You mean, in your small world? Medusa looked at Yunshu in shock and said, to be able to transfer a large tribe in space, how much money have you spent? That's right. I'll take you in and have a look. Yunshu floated to Medusa's side and held her hand. Medusa just gave up after struggling for a while. After all, she has business to do now. Divine power. It's so beautiful. This is your small world. Medusa was completely shocked by the scenery in front of her. How could this happen? Yunshu was completely stunned. There is no such thing as the black lacquer and darkness before, and the whole Shenwei space is like a colorful landscape painting. How did it become like this? Yunshu repeated again. Even the sun appeared. Could it be that the Shenwei space has truly become a world? What's wrong with you? Medusa looked at Yunshu suspiciously and said, here, forget it. What do you think of this place? Yunshu couldn't figure it out for the time being, but now it seems that it should be a good thing. After all, it seems that humans can really live in Shenwei world. Hey, if the tribe can live in this kind of place, then we don't have to fight to expand the land. Medusa murmured, looking at the picturesque scenery. Okay, I'll give you a month to discuss it with your clansmen. Yunshu nodded and said. Afterwards, Yunshu took Medusa and left the world of Shenwei. During this period, Yunshu secretly stamped the mark of Shenwei on Medusa's arm. After the two came out, they happened to meet the colorful butterfly who had successfully broken through, and the colorful butterfly had successfully evolved. Little tree. Kadai threw herself into Yunshu's arms excitedly when she saw Yunshu. Thank you. Yunshu hugged Kadai tightly. If it wasn't for K-Dai, Yunshu might take a long time to fully wake up. Sister, why did you go there just now? Yunshu was also holding Medusa's hand when he came out, and this scene happened to be seen by the colorful butterfly who just came out. So there was the scene in front of me, K-Dai jokingly asked with a meaningful expression. It's nothing, your little man is going to relocate the entire snake human race to his mighty world. Medusa looked at Katie and said softly. It seemed that in front of her sister, this arrogant ruthless queen would always be this gentle look like. Shenwei world? What's there to do in that dark place? I've been there a few times before, and there's nothing in it, except endless darkness and some strange pillars. Katie recalled her previous experience of entering the Shenwei world. It's different, Xiaodi. It's become a real world now. Come on, I'll take you in, and have a look. At this point, Yunshu took Kaida's hand and directly entered the world of Shenwei. Hey, you don't have to be in such a hurry. Medusa looked at the two people who had disappeared and said helplessly. Compared with Medusa, Yunshu is more willing to share the beauty of the world of Shenwei with Katie. Wow, this place has become so beautiful. After entering the world of Shenwei, the butterfly floating in the air exclaimed while looking at the scenery in front of her. If this is the case, then we can be together forever. Seeing this scene, Katie finally understood why her sister agreed to relocate her family to this place. Thinking of this, Katie threw herself down excitedly. If Yunshu could live here, it would be equivalent to being with Yunshu forever. After all, this is the world in Yunshu's eyes. Okay, let's go out first. The news of your breaking through the Daozang is temporarily concealed. Your sister's dream is the same as that of your clansmen. If your clan knows that you have broken through the Daozang, they will definitely go to war with the Jayamar Empire. Yes, Yunshu said to K-Dai, if he wanted to establish a sect in the Jayamar Empire, Yunshu would not allow any unexpected things to happen in the Jayamar Empire. Well, Katie also understood the situation. She yearned for freedom and didn't like to fight, so if concealing her strength could lead to a stable life, she would definitely not reveal her strength on her own initiative. You and your sister will have a good get together this month. I still have something to deal with, Yunshu said dotingly, stroking K-Dai's little head. Well, you are clearly a child. I want to touch your head too. K-Dai puffed up when she saw Yunshu treat him like a child, then jumped onto Yunshu and rubbed him Yunshu's head. Okay, I'm leaving. I'll be back in a month. Yunshu still hasn't forgotten the previous agreement with treasure hunting mouse. The strong man's cave must definitely be explored. Maybe there are some powerful natural and earthly treasures inside. Be careful. K-Dai waved her hand and said. Because he forgot to mark the treasure hunting mouse before, Yunshu could only fly to Moching. System, show me my current strength. Flying in the air was too boring. Just in time Yunshu remembered that he hadn't seen his current strength after waking up, so he called out the system to check his current real strength. Fight to break the world, 3-star fighter. Main world, soul power increased to level 50, 56. System, what do the brackets behind the soul power of the main world mean? Yunshu looked at the 56 and the brackets and asked the system suspiciously. If you don't get the soul ring, you can't continue to increase the soul power level after reaching level 50. However, the soul power in the body will not decrease because of this. It will only accumulate more and more. 56 means that the soul power can be increased after obtaining the soul ring. The level you have reached. Note, the numbers in brackets only represent the soul power accumulated in the host's current body, and the soul power included in the soul ring is not included in it. Oh. Yunshu understood. The current soul power in his body could raise him to level 56 in one go, but because he didn't get the soul ring, he was temporarily stuck at level 50 and couldn't raise it. And this has not taken into account the soul power brought by the soul ring. If you add the soul power attached to absorbing the soul ring when hunting soul beasts, you may be able to rush to level 57 or even 58. The soul you kill, the stronger the beast, the higher the level it will be upgraded. A super powerful soul beast might make Yunshu go straight to level 60. End of this chapter. Chapter 147. The level of Daopio world has also reached the level of 3-star Daoshi, and it was definitely the right choice to sweep up these medicinal herbs at the beginning. Yunshu thought to himself, without these fairy herbs, Medusa and Kadai might not know how long they would have to work to feed themselves. And according to what Yunshu said, if his gluttonous blood can be successfully awakened, then he doesn't have to worry about eating something that will explode him in the future strength. Oh, have you arrived? Yunshu felt the breath of the nearby humans, looked up not far ahead, and found that he had already arrived in Moching. Small brain mouse, here I come. Yunshu folded his wings when he was still some distance away from Moching and descended from the sky. He was going to hunt for treasure this time. Of course, he couldn't be too eye-catching, otherwise he would definitely be in trouble. After all, those who can survive in this harsh environment are definitely not ordinary people. Although it is impossible to be a threat to themselves, as shit stirrers, they will still disgust Yunshu. Yunshu was dressed in a dark suit, dressed like an ordinary adventurer, avoiding everyone's sight, sank directly into the ground with divine power, and came to the treasure hunting mouse's secret room. Aren't you at home? Where have you been? Coming to the secret room, Yunshu found that the treasure hunter didn't seem to be here. Forget it, go up and wait for him. Yunshu is not in a hurry, patience is a good quality. Yunshu took out a lollipop from the storage space and held it in his mouth and slowly returned to the house above from the previous secret passage. There are traces of fighting. Something happened. Yunshu, who had just come up, found many traces of fighting on the ground of the first floor. Couldn't this guy be taken away after someone discovered his identity? Yunshu suddenly felt speechless. After all, this guy's also a fighter. Moching is located in the desert, and there are very few people above the level of a fighter. Even if there are powerful human beings, unless their home is here, few people are willing to stay in such a harsh environment. It seems that the treasure hunting mouse should have been taken away by some human or organization that has been eyeing it for a long time. TSK, seeing that you are still useful, I will try my best to save you. Yunshu opened Sharingan and began to trace the traces of the battle. These people should know that the treasure hunter has no companions, so all the traces were not eliminated when they caught him, and Yunshu could use this to track him. You guys, what do you want to do? At this moment, MOC, the treasure hunting mouse, was being tied to a tree by a group of mercenaries, as if they were going to send it somewhere. Don't waste your saliva, kid. There is still a long way to go. A mercenary took out a lit incense and put it under MOC's nose. In deep sleep. What's so special about this kid that it's worth 500 gold coins? One looked at Mosi and asked suspiciously. The mission they accepted this time was to capture the child in front of them. The person who issued the mission actually offered the kid a reward of 500 gold coins. Fortunately, they had quick eyes and quick hands and grabbed the mission ahead of time. Otherwise, the mission with this price would get them the strongest group of mercenaries who are only fighters. Have you forgotten our rules? We just focus on doing missions and don't bother with other things, otherwise we won't know how to die. The mercenary boss coldly glanced at the person who interrupted. Very professional, but can you tell me who issued this mission? A joking voice sounded in their ears. Who? The mercenary boss was the first to react and immediately stood up and took out his weapon and shouted. Seeing this, the remaining mercenaries quickly got up and took out their weapons and looked at each other. Look here. Yunshu threw the lollipop in his mouth on the head of the mercenary boss. What? Daoki transforms into wings, the king of fighters. The boss of the mercenary saw the wings behind Yunshu so frightened that his legs went limp and he almost fell to his knees on the ground. Dao Wang. The remaining mercenaries also exclaimed in surprise after seeing Yunshu. Don't be afraid. I won't do anything to you. I just hope you can tell me who issued the mission for you to arrest him. Yunshu pointed to Mosi who had fallen asleep beside him and said, My lord, to be honest, we are a group of mercenaries. This mission was posted in the mercenary guild. We just accepted this mission quickly, and we have never had any contact with the person who issued the mission. The mercenary boss knelt, he said calmly in front of Yunshu. As the boss, this person's mental quality is pretty good. At least he didn't tremble until he stuttered when he saw Yunshu like last time. That's it. Then you have no objection to me taking him away. Yunshu pointed at MOC and said with a smile. No opinion. Of course no opinion. The mercenary boss said hastily. Point joke. What is the difference between refusing at this time and going directly to reincarnation? Okay. Seeing that you are quite sensible, I won't move you. Yunshu walked up to MOC and waved his hand. The rope on MOC's body was untied. Yunshu looked at MOC with her clothes, a group of mercenaries. By the way, where is the mercenary guild you took the mission from? Yunshu thought for a while. Since someone knew MOC's true identity, it would be better to solve it. Otherwise MOC would still have no freedom after Yunshu left this world ability to protect Anling City. The mercenary replied hastily. Where? Are you going to Anling City, sir? To be honest, our destination is also Anling. You want me to go to Anling with you? Yunshu raised his eyebrows and said. Don't dare. We just happen to be on the way with the adults, so we. Seeing Yunshu's expression, the boss of the mercenary thought that Yunshu was angry and wanted to kill them, so he lay down on the ground in fright. Where is the Warcraft mountain range? Are you on the way? Yunshu asked a confusing question. By the way, the mercenary boss said quickly. Okay. How long will it take? Yunshu didn't refuse either. Anyway, it's a bit boring to travel alone. At a normal speed, it will take about 4 days. If you think it's too slow, we can speed it up, so we can get there in only 2.5 days. Seeing that Yunshu was not angry, the boss of the mercenary slowly sat up and said, okay, speed up tomorrow. Yunshu threw MOC on the ground. Anyway, this guy was already stunned and couldn't feel any pain. Yes. Let's take a rest. Tomorrow we will advance at full speed. The mercenary boss said to his subordinates. Starlight streaming strike. Looks very strong. Yunshu came to a remote place and looked at the newly acquired sword skills of the interpreter with a smile on his lips. End of this chapter. Chapter 148. Starlight combo strike. 16 combo strikes that cannot be dodged or interrupted for single or multiple targets within a certain range. The lower the damage. Note, this skill must be cast with 2 sword weapons, and one of them must be an interpreter. Cooling time. 100 hours. The dodge point is 100%. This means that during the skill release period, I'm invincible if I have nothing. No. It's just that the dodge is full. If I'm in a flame or poisonous mist, this kind of ability that can continuously damage the human body, even if you use this skill, you will still be injured. It seems that this skill is not invincible. Looking at the introduction of this skill, Yunshu thought to himself. However, Yunshu would not be so stupid as to stay in this kind of place, and Yunshu was almost invincible when he released his skills, just by maximuming out the dodge point. Moreover, the opponent cannot dodge this move, nor can it interrupt Yunshu's use, unless Yunshu actively stops. What an awesome skill. The next day, Yunshu followed the group of mercenaries on the way to Anling City. So you are with a group of guys? MOC said unhappily, looking at Yunshu beside him. Is this your attitude towards your savior? Yunshu asked back. Aren't you with them? MOC was taken aback when she heard Yunshu's words. Do I look like a bad guy? Yunshu narrowed his eyes and looked at MOC. No. Mo thought about Yunshu's formidable strength and finally shrank his neck and said in a low voice. We have to deal with the person who released the mission to kidnap you first, otherwise that guy will be troublesome for both of us. Yunshu wanted MOC to be his subordinate, but MOC's strength obviously couldn't reassure Yunshu, so anyone who knows Mose's identity must die. Really? MOC said ecstatically when she heard that. There is such a good thing. If his true identity is exposed, he will definitely be targeted by countless forces. After all, the main talent of treasure hunters is to be able to smell treasures, and no treasure can hide from their noses. Which faction would not want to obtain this kind of talent that is like hacking? Later, I will pass on a secret technique to you, which can hide your own aura, even your monster's aura. This secret technique, at least those Daozun and Daosheng, can't find out your true identity. Yunshu whispered to Mosi beside him. Really? Mosi looked at Yunshu after hearing this, but she froze when she saw Yunshu's eyes. Don't God! Exclamation mark. Is it? Other gods modifying the other party's will not be discovered by the other party, but now, Mosi's will has actually been modified by Yunshu. It's just that Yunshu didn't modify it to let MOC respect himself as the master, but told him in his subconscious that he can only trust Yunshu now, and only Yunshu can help him. And now Yunshu plans to teach him a secret technique that can hide his own aura, which makes him trust Yunshu even more. Afterwards, Yunshu used illusion to pull MOC into the illusion space and pass the complete divine concealment to him. Anling City, this is the first small city more than 100 miles away from the desert. My lord, the mercenary guild is just ahead. After entering the city, Yi Zhen pointed to a majestic building not far away. Yi Zhen is the boss of this group of mercenaries. Yunshu gradually got to know this group of mercenaries during the 2 days of traveling with them. They are different from those large mercenary regiments. There are only the 7 in front of them in total, and Yi Zhen, as the captain, is the strongest in the entire team, and his strength is a 5-star fighter. 2 of the remaining 6 people are brothers, Hishan and Hishu. Hishan is the elder brother, 29 years old, and the younger brother is 1 year younger than him. Everyone is a 9-star fighter. Luo Yan is a carefree female mercenary, about 28 years old, a 1-star fighter, good looking. Yunshu secretly gave her a score of 85. To be honest, Yunshu was surprised for a while when he saw the female mercenary, but he didn't expect that there are girls who like to hang out with a group of old men. Xiangdang, Yi Zhen's heir is young, and he is responsible for the defense of the team. He is practicing defensive fighting skills. He is 30 years old and is also a 1-star fighter. Not only does he have similar muscles to Johnson, but he also looks very similar. Zhantengfei, this guy has always been wearing a black iron mask, and he is rather gloomy. He hasn't said much, but Yunshu heard from Yi Zhen that this guy joined their team recently, although he doesn't know his age, but his strength is very strong. Very powerful 3-star fighter. The last one. Yunshu is not easy to comment. After all, he is older than Yunshu's 2 lifetimes combined, and he looks very much like Dumbledore. I heard from Yi Zhen that this person, like Zhantengfei, joined later. It is said that he is a doctor. However, since his team members have not been injured for the time being, and have not had any conflicts with other teams, so I don't know his status. How is the strength? The entire team, except for the promoters Yi Zhen and Xiangdang, all joined later. They were pieced together like a robot. To be honest, Yunshu thinks that a passerby like Yi Zhen can have such strength at the age of 32, and his talent is quite satisfactory in the world of fighting. After all, some people can't even break through in their lifetime. Moreover, someone like Yi Zhen certainly didn't have too many resources for him to use when he was a child, and it was almost always, when he grew up, that he was able to earn money in exchange for resources. Thinking about it this way, Yi Zhen is probably considered a genius. After all, he has only been practicing for more than a dozen years. People like Xiao Yan have been practicing since childhood, and rich fathers, Zuna, Yao Chen, etc. With the help of others and opportunities, I was just a fighter when I was about 17 years old. Genius. Yunshu thought about it and realized that Yi Zhen is a peerless genius who is unique in a million. After all, the younger you are, the more efficient you are in practicing this kind of thing. Yi Zhen was almost 20 years old when she first came into contact with cultivation. With such a talent, she can break through to a Daoshi at the age of 32, and she is still a 5-star Daoshi. Awesome. The talent is good, you can cultivate it. Yunshu narrowed his eyes and thought to himself, if you want to establish a sect, you will definitely need a team of people. If you can ensure their loyalty, Yunshu would like to draw these guys into his plan. After all, training from scratch requires a lot of time and resources. It's better to just pick up ready-made ones. Anyway, these guys are so bad at mixing, they didn't even get a small mercenary group. My lord, we are here. Yi Zhen brought Yunshu to the gate of the mercenary guild. Thank you for the 500 coins rewarded by Bing Yuxin. *3. End of this chapter. Chapter 149. First grade alchemist. My lord, the mercenary guild has arrived. Just as Yunshu was thinking about how to speak to these mercenaries, Yi Zhen's voice rang in Yunshu's ear. Yunshu looked up, and before he knew it, he had already arrived at the mercenary guild. Well, let's go in. Go back and rest first. You've been tired these 2 days. I'll do the rest. Yi Zhen said to the few people in front of him. After all, he was an orphan, and he was used to it, since he was a child. Okay, Captain. Several people nodded. They were exhausted long ago following Yunshu at full speed. Now that the captain has spoken, they can finally rest. Then Yunshu followed Yi Zhen into the mercenary guild with MOC. Go and ask, who actually issued this task? Yunshu handed the task list to Yi Zhen and said, yes. Have you been anywhere recently? Yunshu found a quiet place and asked MOC, the treasure hunter beside him. Recently, before I met you, I went to Yancheng once, where I got some top quality medicinal herbs. MOC squinted and recalled the places she had been to before. Yancheng? Yunshu frowned. Yancheng is also on the edge of the desert, just like Anling, but Yancheng is more than 100 miles away from Anling Point. MOC lives in Mocheng. How are these three places connected together in this kidnapping case? Could it be that this wave is cross-city crimes? But why did the people from Yancheng issue a mission in Anling City to catch people from Mocheng? This wave of magically manipulating the Yunshu really has no clue. My lord, the staff at the front desk refused to say. Yi Zhen said with an embarrassed expression on his face. The mercenary guild needs to protect the safety of the task issuer, so generally if the issuer voluntarily asks to keep it secret, it is impossible for the staff to disclose the information of the issuer, unless the staff member has no professional ethics, or is human coercion. I don't blame you, I'll go in person. Yunshu also knew that they were just small mercenaries, and they couldn't afford to offend this huge mercenary guild. Then, Yunshu easily hypnotized the staff at the front desk with Sharingan, and asked her to name the person who issued the task. The person who issued the task is called Yuking. Do you know him? After sending Yi Zhen away, Yunshu returned to MOC and asked. Yuking. MOC exclaimed. You know him? Yunshu raised his eyebrows. An acquaintance committed the crime. A person I met in Yancheng. In fact, I was hunted down for a while after I got those herbs in Yancheng. After that, it was this person named Yuking who saved my life. MOC was a little said depressingly. It seems that he should have discovered your identity. What do you know about him? Yunshu continued to ask. I didn't understand. I just learned his name during the escape process. After that, he said to help me lure the enemy away, and then there was no more. I just fled all the way back to Mocheng. It seems that this guy discovered your identity at that time, but because he was being hunted down, it is not easy for him to attack you. Otherwise he will take advantage of others. Yunshu analyzed lightly. Such a situation. Okay, let's go find him and kill him. Yunshu thought for a while and said, after all, MOC had already started to practice the divine invisibility technique, and Yunshu couldn't distinguish MOC's aura without careful inspection. Seeing that the only one who knows MOC's identity is this guy named Yuking. Do you know where he is? MOC asked suspiciously. I asked. He just came to the mercenary guild this morning, which means that this guy has been staying here these days. It seems that this guy can't wait to catch you. When I go out later, I will hide in the dark. If he sees you, he will pretend to meet you by chance. Then we will take him down. Yunshu thought that he just solved this guy and went directly with MOC rush to Warcraft Mountains. Don't act sneaky, just walk normally. Yunshu looked at MOC speechlessly and said to him through voice transmission, looking around every 2 steps. But, I'm a little nervous. MOC said quietly. It's okay, if that guy has the ability, he'll just grab you by himself. He issued the mission because he's incapable. Yunshu continued to say through voice transmission. Alright. Under Yunshu's comfort, MOC finally entered the role of a normal passerby, walking here, looking there, and buying things she likes. Not long after, Yunshu sensed a more sneaky figure following up not far behind. He's here. You find an empty alley and walk in. Yunshu said via voice transmission. Seeing the target walk into the deserted alley, the corner of the stalker's mouth slightly raised, and then followed him in. As a result, as soon as he entered the alley, before he saw anyone, he saw a long sword on his neck. Forgive me. Forgive me. The visitor immediately faltered and begged Yunshu for mercy. Tell me, what's your name? Yunshu said coldly. He had never met Yuking before, so it would be embarrassing if he killed the wrong person. Yes, the little one is called Yuking. Yuking said tremblingly, for fear that Yunshu would cut his throat if he accidentally shook his hands. You are Yuking. It's time to come out. Yunshu shouted into the alley. After a while, a small figure emerged from the corner. It really is you. Tell me, why did you issue a mission to catch me? Now the little mouse is pretending to be a tiger and relying on Yunshu by his side. He asked Yuking viciously. I'm sorry. I'm greedy. I needed some of the herbs you got that day, so. Feeling the coolness of the sharp sword on his neck, Yuking explained everything. Because of medicinal materials? Emosi frowned and said. It turns out that it's not, because you discovered his monster's identity. Yunshu stroked his chin and said, how could a guy who can't even defeat Emosi discover his real body as a monster? Mosi, Yuking. Now he knows. Mosi looked at Yunshu and said speechlessly. Yunshu. Then kill him. He's not an important person anyway. Yunshu said lightly. Don't kill me. My lord, spare me. I'm a first-grade pharmacist, and I can refine medicine for you for free. Hearing that Yunshu wanted to kill him, Yuking was so frightened that he trembled all over the place, like sifting chaff. Woke up, my mouth was full of ladles. Are you a pharmacist? Upon hearing Yuking's words, a smile appeared on the corner of Yunshu's mouth. A first-grade pharmacist who is only about 20 years old. Isn't this the one who is in charge of alchemy in the sect? End of this chapter. Chapter 150 Hanging Stone. Are you a pharmacist? Yunshu raised his mouth slightly when he heard Yuking's words. I didn't expect that I was so lucky that trouble would directly become fresh blood. Mosi, please leave first. This guy can be kept temporarily. If not, I will impose a restriction on him so that he can never betray us. Yunshu said to Mosi beside him. Okay. Emosi's subconscious mind has begun to believe Yunshu's words unconditionally because of the relationship with other gods and because Yunshu treats him so well. Yunshu told him to go east, but he would never go west. Restriction. Yuking was so frightened that he almost peed his pants. He is still so young. Is he about to be controlled for a lifetime? After Emosi left, Yunshu looked at Yuking in front of him and fell silent for a while. The IQ of this guy in front of him is obviously not comparable to that silly mouse of Mosi. It is definitely not an ordinary person who can become an alchemist. Who knows if there is any elixir in this world that can make people get rid of the control of other gods. After all, this Yuking seems to be still at the stage of a wicked person. If it were Yunshu himself, he would not trust a man who threatens to kill him. So before you bid farewell to the gods, at least convince the other party. Come with me. Yunshu just carried Yuking into the sky. Walking in the sky, the Daozang powerhouse. Seeing this scene, Yuking was so shocked that he could stuff an egg into his mouth. Even if he couldn't see Yunshu's strength, he still knew what everyone in the world knew. The only ones who could fly in the air without relying on fighting energy and transforming wings were the Daozang, and the powerhouse is above the level of Daozang. Do you think I should just throw you down? Or, Yunshu was going to scare him. No, I'm willing to accept the restriction. Please don't throw me down. Knowing that Yunshu is a strong man at the level of Daozang, Yuking has no other ideas, only hopes to survive, so he has no resistance to Yunshu's behavior of imposing a ban on him. Very good. Yunshu opened Sharingan and directly sent him another god. Okay, you just wait for me here, I will come to you in a while. Yunshu brought Yuking down after finishing the illusion. Didn't you say that there will be a ban? Yuking said in surprise. You really want it? Yunshu grinned, and a faint blue light appeared on his outstretched right hand. No, no, no. Thank you sir for not killing me. Then I will leave first. Yuking understood what happened when she heard this, and the other party was just scaring herself. Obviously a strong Daozang, but he treats people so easygoing. He is really a good person. At this time, the effect of other gods showed, and the subconscious that Yunshu gave to Yuking was to make him think that Yunshu was a good person and could be cursing the strong. Coupled with Yunshu's formidable strength, if he can be his backer, then his future is definitely bright. Don't be gods, it's really easy to use. Yunshu thought to himself. Although there are no intercolumn cells in Yunshu's body, but because Bishanshan was absorbed by him, it is already his own pupil technique, and with such a powerful life force in his body, it makes Bishanshan the cooldown will go this low. Solved. Emosi asked, after seeing Yunshu coming alone. Well, let's go to the Warcraft Mountains. Yunshu couldn't wait to explore the cave left by the strong man. Because treasure hunting mouse Mosi knew the approximate location of the cave, Yunshu took him directly to fly there this time. He didn't think about how long it would take him along the way. After flying for more than 10 hours, he reached the depths of the Warcraft Mountains. Be careful, here are some magical beasts above the 6th rank. Even if you are a Dalzang, you may not be able to defeat the countless high-ranking magical beasts here, Mosi said cautiously. As a treasure hunting mouse, he not only has the ability to the talent of smelling treasures, and the cautious personality of being a rat, otherwise, it would be impossible to survive in the world of Warcraft Forest for such a long time. Don't worry, I have also practiced the technique of hiding the gods, and it has already achieved great success. As long as I don't want to expose my aura, there will be no problems. As long as you take me to the vicinity of the cave, I can find the cave of the strong man. Yunshu he closed his eyes and sensed the aura nearby and said to Emosi after finding that there were no powerful monsters appearing for the time being. Okay, come with me. Emosi, who returned to the forest, her agility improved a lot, as if she had turned into a monkey, scurrying around. Because he took the transformation grass before reaching the 6th level, even if he returned to the forest, he couldn't turn back into a mouse. Unless his strength broke through the 6th level, Mosi could return to his original form. However, Mosi didn't feel dissatisfied because of this. Instead he was more satisfied with his current human form, because the human form gave him the opportunity to explore more places. Although he looked like a child, it was better than a mouse appearing in a human sit as well, and in some places, being a child is more palatable. Aren't you there yet? Yunshu had been walking with Moc for nearly half an hour, and in Yunshu's perception, some powerful monsters had appeared, including 5th and 6th tiers. It's coming soon. I haven't been here for a few years. The road is a bit new. Moc was still groping forward, and Yunshu didn't know if he still remembered the road, or if he was just walking blindly. I'll give you another half hour, and if I can't find me, I'll throw you into the mouth of the 5th order monster behind us. Yunshu said with a dark face. This guy's too unreliable. No. Moc fell from the tree in fright when she heard that a 5th level monster was following behind her. If you don't want to die, find that place quickly. Yunshu stared at Moc and said quietly, yes. Seeing Yunshu's expression about to go mad, Moc immediately jumped up in fright and continued to search. Finally, about an hour later, Moc finally found the traces of the cave. Found it. Moc said in surprise, pointing to the hanging rock not far away. Are you serious? Yunshu's mouth twitched as he looked at the hanging rock, because it was next to Duanhunjian. Don't worry, listen to me. There is a teleportation formation on the hanging rock. The first time I came here, I was chased by a monster and accidentally encountered something that activated the teleportation formation before being sent to that cave. Moc quickly explained, for fear that Yunshu would be upset and throw him into Duanhunjian. The teleportation formation is set up on the edge of the cliff. Yunshu squinted his eyes, then came to the edge of the cliff and opened his perspective eyes. Sure enough, it's below. End of this chapter. End of this chapter. Thank you very much for reaching the end. Don't forget to like. Looking for more exclusive content and immediate access? Subscribe to our Patreon. Remember, every like, subscription, or donation encourages us to continue. Thanks to everyone. See you in the next video.